Just so you know, right from the get-go, I'm not be able to see your comments. I'm kind of working. I'm filming this new opener, so you can just kind of hang along. You guys can communicate amongst yourself if you want. You guys are more welcome to. Obviously, you don't have to stay if you're a moderator, all that kind of stuff, because it's going to be low. It's going to be kind of a slow, just you're going to sit in the corner like a naughty boy kind of thing. I'm going to hop in. I might cool off. I might get a water. I might come check. So don't be offended if I don't see your comment. If you got something, you know how to always, you can always hit me up. My email, the Daveadubson@gmail.com. That's always the best. But anyways, I'm monkeying with this opener right now. The LED, new genie, right from Home Depot. Checking her out, playing with it. It is what it is. So you're more welcome to, come along, ask questions, all that good stuff. Like I said, if I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. Don't get mad. I'm not trying to ignore you. I just, it is what it is. If you know what I mean. How do I tip you? Tip Brewski. And welcome, by the way. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, man, it's warm out here. Nice and cool in the shop, though. So, and I might just start randomly talking about some random stuff, so, Cousin Evan, he messaged me today, and he was talking about, he was asking, what was he asking? He was asking about a van. And I forgot to ask him. I was going to say, well, for one, how much, how many muchos, and then for two, all that good stuff. How many miles? The problem was it had a lot of windows, so I'm assuming it's a passenger vehicle, passenger van. But there's a lot that goes into some of these. One thing you got to be aware of, and actually, hopefully Cousin Evan sees it. He's actually good for. He does his homework, I believe, and so what it is you have to remember on those vans. Excuse me. You got to find out what transmission they got. Because it sounds like, what is it, the 8-speed? The 8-speed and the 10-speed are the worst ones. You want the 6-speed. And for some reason, I just got lucky because I was reading online. I didn't do my homework. I didn't even know they switched them. I just knew it had, we had the 4.8 liter. We had, what else did we have? We had the 6 liter, the 5.3. I thought we were golden. We're golden. They're the same. They haven't changed them since 1990 or whatever it is, and come to find out, nope, I was wrong. So mine could have had the 8-speed. I was scared. I was so scared. It's really hard doing this when it's not mounted. Everything moves. Hold on to this cord in my mouth. Ah, there, I can do it that time. That's not helping. That's not helping. Where's my assistant? Even Bob Sager? What's his name? Price is Right. He even had help. Right? I have to go in for a second. It's toasty. I'm trying not to get all sweaty. Okay, I think our wall button's set up. Our photo eyes are golden. I think we're basically ready for the old programo. The old programo mode. Can you guys see? You guys can see a little bit? There we go. What do we get? Let me see the lights. We got 4 lights. Holy moly. We're liking her up. Thanks for hitting the like button, by the way. Like I said, I'm not trying. I'm like focusing here. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is a new style to me. The new genie. And there'll probably be another video, but you guys won't really, because if you're a subscriber, you might not want to watch. I don't know, but so I'm gonna take a little video content of it. believe. Push button. Fertilize. Opens up. I'm going to try to set the limit on this. Away we go. Oh, let's see here. How am I going to do this? All right. No, if it backfires, hopefully it won't get busted because no, ain't going to put no surgery protector on here at the moment. Ooh, I see the red light of death. Ooh, I see a green light. I'm definitely not sure what these buttons do. What these buttons do. All right. I gotta get a J arm. I gotta get a J arm hooked up to this. I gotta feel the J arm moving. Jay, where are you, Jay? Jay. Come on, Jay. Where are we going today, Jay? All right. There we go. I see Genie kind of still does their, I see they still do their, I don't know how to explain it. They got their big bolts they still use. Oh, I wish you guys would have been there the other day. What is it? Oh, Joe, it says UFC? UFC? Oh, man. I can't, I'm bad, man. I don't watch any sports or anything. Like I said, I'm always working. Well, thanks for letting me know. It might be a quiet night. All right, let's see here. What do we got? I want to do. I'm going to go up. That's just me. 1, 2. It went. That's good. Sweet. Moves. Definitely quiet. Okay, that's all she needs to do that. Do we do the normal? Push the button once and it learned it, hopefully. Go down. 1, 2. I think it lit. Goes down. Right there, just touched. I don't know if it was getting jammed up. I don't like that. That's the way you break a sprocket back there. Like this, you gotta watch these kind of things. Like that. Whoo, doggies. All right, let's go back. Look at that. That's good enough. Okay, there's that. All right, hopefully we're learned. Let's get our remotes. Not gonna lie, the LED's pretty bright though. It's pretty bright. I don't know what's gonna happen when it breaks. But not bad. Not bad. Super light. You know how that is, super light type of thing. I think it's kind of nice that Genie does do this, right? They got their little, don't do this at home, kids. You know, they got their little tab, so the battery's fresh. Oh yeah, that's a fresh battery now. You know, that's just my opinion. Fresh and ready to go. As far as I know, Chamberlain's never done that. All right. They already said, I think they're already programmed. Which it is. There it goes. All right, so it's got that slow stop, which is nice. We'll show the end, we'll get the covers on. We need a battery backup. We should be all wrapped up. And so we just started getting a little bit of rain. Luckily not too much rain, because too much rain makes for really, really bad audio. These are weird. These are weird. They're just like beauty covers. I don't know how I feel about these. I don't know how I feel about you. Let's see, this one's got to be a flipperooski. Like if I wanted to make my wires look nice, I guess, I go like that. This one would probably stay out. And what, I just push it on? How does it go on? How does it go on? Ugh, it's not going on very easily. I'm assuming it's like a push on, right? Like a little pushy, snappy. I don't want to break it. I think I like the tunnel better, the hole. So like you're just supposed to do like the, yep, that's what you're supposed to do. So if you didn't watch the Karate Kid, you better get on YouTube and watch the Karate Kid, you know, the wah, right? I'm telling you. Watch this, I'll do it again. Oh, it's about, oh yeah. Oh, it does make it look better. It does look better. It looks like it's actually built with beefiness. Oh yeah. Now where's this battery go? I don't know where these silly batteries go. That. All right, stop. It says do not install contact battery backup until operator is installed and limits are set. See that? It is a lot easier. I don't hook the darn batteries up. I just leave them off till the very end because they screw me up every time. And you're not supposed to anyways, because I tell you to. But I've done it before, especially with the Chamberlains. All right, what kind of goofiness do we have today? I don't see any. I see holes. Where does this thing go? Where does it go? Where does it go? Let me see if I can turn this light off. I didn't know if they ever did the motion. Turn the light off. No, they don't have the thing like what you call it. I'm like so close, but yet so far away. Just kind of hang out here. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, I think I remember. Oh, I know what they want you to do. I know what they want. Oh, wait. They want you, that's what they gave you those screws for. Oh, come on, man. Come on, Genie. Genie, why'd you do this to me? This would be, they just want you to screw it. They want you to screw in the back of the cover. Ouch. Hey, I see we got 8 likes too. If you guys don't mind, hit the like button while you're here. I'm assuming that's what these little self-tapper screws, but to screw, like to not already have holes, like that just feels so wrong. So wrong. What if I drill back there and I hit like a circuit board or something? You know what I mean? Like that's what would concern me. And then the problem is, right, you're probably supposed, this is where you have a technician. Technician would screw this up. You got these little screws, but then you tell him, you say, you got to put screws in it. Yeah, you got to put screws. And he goes, really? Is that how it works? Now, I guess you don't have to put the screws in, right? But then they put those big wonkers in there. Oh my gosh. They're in there frying everything. I don't know how I feel about this. I better make sure I look at the instructions because I'm not drilling. I don't got my flashlight either. So, I don't feel comfortable screwing in the back of the opener, man. It just feels wrong. All right, check out a few comments while we're chilling here for a minute. I apologize if you got anything, let me know. Ooh, Rich B's always got good ideas. 2-sided tape. That's what I was kind of feeling like. But I just want to know, so I know. Like if you go to install one of these for a technician or somebody calls you and they say, hey, I think it goes on the back, but, you know. And the problem is it's going to probably get, well, I guess it might get hung up. I figured maybe one of the guys or myself, I'll find a home for it. You know what I mean? I figured maybe somebody would want to try it out, but probably not, because they're kind of like you guys. They like their Chamberlain, which I don't blame them on this situation anyways. Oh, it told me to hold it for my jam nut. Where's the battery? It's not showing the battery. I never like these big instructions. It's like, especially when it's a windy day out, it's really cumbersome, I think. And then where's the contents? I don't even know where the contents for the, you know what I mean? Like, where's the, that's not even showing it. It's basic. I mean, I do like all the pictures. I mean, it definitely could be worse. But I just need a picture showing like the batteries in the right spot and they go on the back side. And I put these little screws in there and I'm not going to short out a board. That's all I want to see. But I'm not even seeing that. So, what do? Do we do it with a screw gun or do we just do it by hand? Because that's got to be the way it goes. I really don't want it to flip it and fall off and then break the battery. Oh, that'd be horrible. So, I might just have to chance it. That's a bummer. Still not seeing nothing. Yellow parts bag. Awesome. Warning, warning, caution, caution. Power. Ooh, I never seen it where it shows the wires go through the little holes. That's interesting. I would think it would get sheafage and okay, security, power to the operator. Got it open, ground, basic. I see all that. Wiring, awesome. Attaching garage door. We're not attaching nothing. There's one side saying, let's see here. Oh, this good stuff. Nothing. Well, I guess we're gonna. They didn't tell me. I don't see any other. I wonder with those little screws. I thought that's kind of a unique little screw situation there. But why did they give those to me? What could they possibly want me to do with metal self-tapper screws? What could it be? So we'll find out. Obviously, if it goes kaboom, it goes kaboom. I mean, it kind of looks like the same screws that are up here, on the very top. I don't know. Don't know. Light turn on if I tell it to. If I command the light comes on. That's good. If I hit the old lock button, let's see if she won't let me do. It's funny. It's funny. I can hear it click. I can hear it click, but it won't light up or anything. You think they'd make it at least light up, so like it, you know you're. But no, it clicks. It's unlocked off the button. Why are you making that weird noise? Because it doesn't have the screws in the battery. Huh. All right, LED. I wonder how much of a pain it's going to be to change that LED if that blows out one day. That could be interesting. Oh, I'm stalling out. I really don't want to do it. Let me tell you what color bags. Yeah, but this is a clear bag. They don't tell you about the clear bags. They got green, yellow. They don't tell you about the clear bags. The little bags. Those are like little secrets. Those are little treasures. You got to figure those out for yourself. Two-sided. Or was it? What's the? Oh, Velcro. Ooh. I never get it to ever stick the way you want it to. You know what I mean? I see we got 9 legs too. Cool. Thanks for hitting the like button. Oh, maybe with the LED on I can see in there. But cannot. No circuit board, right? Well, I can see a circuit board. But it's like laying down. God, it looks like it's almost like right in the. Look at that light, because. You know how sometimes you just don't, why not just double check, right? I hate to have this thing blow up on me. What's white there? Golly, it looks like you're putting that screw right into a spot that could be bad. Oh, boy, it is crazy. There is a circuit board there. is a circuit board there. How about this side? This side looks pretty empty. That side looks pretty empty. This side, oof, oof. Yee. You might get below it. You might. Wow. Wow. It's going to be close. Oh, no magnet bit. I don't really want to use a screw gun. I'm scared. I'll do this one first. Son of a biscuit. All right, I might use a screw gun. All right, you tucked me into it. Oh, screw gun, where'd you go? Where it stops, nobody knows. I just don't like putting vibrations on openers. Makes me nervous, and especially when it's circuit board. The gun does not fit in there good. I want to get an extension because I want this to be perfect. All right, come on. We can do this. We can do this. All right, here we go. I don't know where we're going with it. Oh, it went in. It must be below that circuit board. I don't see it protruding. I don't see it protruding anywhere. Okay, I think we're okay. I didn't hear no crunch of a circuit board either, so that's a good sign. You need to see the lights turn off. Ooh, that's scary. Those are always those little things, the details that I really wish, like for Genie for this, like you gotta, you know what I mean? Like you gotta have holes there or marks or something. Put white dots for goodness sakes. I mean, anything. So I think this side should be fine. All right, there's that. What else? What else? What else? Let's plug this bad boy in, huh? Everything's hot. Let's just, I want to do it with the light on just because I feel weird about that. Make sure this goes in the right way. Nothing's looking like it's going to short out. Okay, that's on. I was wondering if that LED changed. That plug definitely feels kind of. I think this is for the. I think this is for the charging, is my guess. What are these buttons on the side? What are the buttons for? Oh, let's see. Buttons. What are the buttons? Programming. Yes, awesome. They're not really showing what the buttons are right away. They show you how to program, all that good stuff. I might have to do some further research what the LEDs are on the side. I don't know. And the problem is you can like, I don't know, you can press them, but I don't mess them. Okay. Hoping maybe they change once the LED goes out, or once we unplug it here. Let's unplug it. This is simulating the garage is down. You're stuck at home. The power just went out. Oh my gosh! We have 2 red lights now. 2 red light of death. Hopefully the battery's got enough in her. You know, because they don't. It's going really slow. It is really slow. It is working though. But of course the battery is like, who knows the condition. But she is working. I'm gonna put a little pressure on that rail. Let's simulate a garage. Yeah, I mean, it's still going. It's fighting me a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'd pick up a door. Cool. Our things are on. Let's go back down. Looks like it's the same speed. Looks like we still have our light on for our wall button and battery backup. Let me take a little video of this guy. All right, so we're in battery backup right now. See our LED still on. Lights are on. Red lights are on. LED's not gonna come on, save battery, but our battery's hooked up now. Had to put screws in, which is scary. Otherwise, we're looking. I think we'll get it to stop here. Power back up. Cord's unplugged right now. And run it no mode. All right. Power's back on. Ooh, we got green lights. I'm assuming there's something with the battery. Like right now, it's back to red, it's charging. Back to normal speed. All right, back to normal speed. Plug back in. What's that? Perfect. Looking good. What do we got? No smoke? Yeah. Ooh, okay. Okay, the clear 3M. 3M makes some pretty good stuff. That they do. I think I might let it sit plugged in, let that battery, see if that light changes. It did give you a warning, which was kind of nice. I think it said after how many? After cycling several times and in rapid order, the unit stops responding to controls. Do not unplug the unit. Oh, just wait 10 minutes. Oh, all right. So this unit likes to get hot. Oh, and I feel a little bit, very gentle. I feel a little bit on this side. So, okay. Let's bring her back down. Let's let her sit. So this isn't going to be your oil change. This isn't going to be your oil change opener. Cool. We'll let that sit. Maybe we'll check out the comments. Come back out, see how it goes. All that good stuff. Whew, man, it is toasty. I still got to figure out the mini split too, because what I've noticed is it's got like some kind of weird function to it. Like I don't understand, because it'll it's like you come in, you have it set for like 71, and like right now you come in here, it feels amazing. It is super, but it's got like a humidity. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like you try to. I'm gonna have to have the wife come look at the instructions on it or something, because it's working fine. But when I came in here earlier, it was set for 70, and it didn't feel good. It felt very humid in here, and I was like, "What is going on?" I thought for sure something bad happened, but I don't know. It was all right. So it's on now, but I did it by like I don't know what setting I put it on. I just did humidity and I turned it way down. So I think it's in the settings. I'm not sure. Have I welded before? Yeah, I've welded. Oh, what do we got here? When it's on, battery, I think, is slow speed all the time. Yeah, I think you're right, Rich. I agree. I think what Chamberlain does the same thing. I mean, it's just conserve on power, right? Otherwise, it takes a lot more juice. So, you know. Let me go back to some of these comments since it's not crazy. I see we got 10 likes too. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Let's see. Rich's guy, he says, do the windows. Windows are fine, but the seats come out. Good. UFC. Best scratch. What's up, Joe? Yeah, I think when it comes to the van, There's a couple things, obviously, right? There's, the windows, for one, I don't like that much window. To me, that's like asking for trouble, like asking for them getting smashed, or you try to put bins and then people look, they just look very weird, especially when they're on both sides and you can't put your bins in there. But yes, the seats would be a big thing too if you can't get the seats out. Is it Jeremy? As Williams says hi, hello, hope you're doing good. Oh, Robert's guys, these little genies are on. What's it? Lightweight door. I think Shannon better for the power and less plastic. I'd have to agree. We'll take a little close up. Let's see how much is in here. There isn't too much for the comments. Let's take a little closer look at it. Because I tell you what, man, it was light picking her up. Let's flip the old camera around here, right? Oh, yeah. So, for instance, like this, I don't know. So I had to put this on, right? This keeps your belt from, the belt is really thin, which is, I guess, whatever. This all seems, zapping down. Like that seems like with heat over time could be a problem. Like I could see this, maybe something could happen. You know what I'm saying? Oh, light turned off. I'm assuming, like I said, these are, I don't know why they got push buttons, but I don't know what to do. When you got your buttons underneath. So I'm not sure what those are. But it is super light. This rail has not changed. It's that slide together. It's I guess it's better supposedly than Guardian, but it's just not. It's just not. And then you got your plastic. So this is plastic trolley. I think what really irritates me, I can live with a plastic trolley. Okay. What I don't like is it's not on the right side. Everything is always on, I don't know what you want to call it, the driver's side. And this is on the passenger side. So yeah, and then you got this guy, and then what's weird is it doesn't go both ways. I'm really used to that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm always used to being flips around. So, oh, this one says door. I didn't even do that. See, it says door. Oh, so luckily I did it right. Door. Just want to say opener. Just curious if they took the time to stamp that. I don't see nothing. Do you guys see that door? Right there, door. Focus. Camera can't focus that close. Door. Yeah, there's nothing on this side. I guess they just tell you that side, which is fine. Another pin, which is kind of fast and convenient. This one luckily sneaks through, so that's nice. But there we go. Yeah, that goes together. Like I feel like you could definitely break that. That was always big thing about with Chamberlain. I always liked their metal. All the professional ones, they were metal and harder to break. So yeah, buddy. Ooh, this has got a little heat to it. Let's see what the top feels like. The top's got a little heat too, just a touch. Nothing crazy. Oh man. Instructions. I'm going to tell you left hand. But hey, 2 remotes. That's nice. Outside keypad. That's nice. So, yeah. See, now it's hard, right? It's hard to replace. Like this is a belt drive. No, I like this a lot better, right? When you go to that professional series, right? The professional series. That's just that C channel so much. That's just really nice. That works really good. That's really solid, man. I tell you what, it's a lot better. A lot better. This one I can tell, like I was looking at it, I was sighting it. I can tell it's got a little bit of a, that's not even lifting it off the thing yet. It's got some flex to it. With that tube, oh, it feels so good in here. With that tube being more tall than, I could see where, yeah, you want to put that on light door. Wilson, hello. It's quiet. It is super quiet. Definitely way quiet. we're going to try, Wifetron is, so our Menards doesn't have the belt, the Performax in stock, the one I want. I'm assuming, I probably could look online. We're going to burn them up one way or another. So I figured I could donate them. But I figured the AC is probably going to have the mechanical limits like I like. And I'm assuming the Performax DC is going to have the push buttons. I'm assuming. Somebody pulled in here. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is. Could be the fuzz. You never know. Guess we'll see. It's nice having cameras, though. It's quiet. What's up, Evan? Evan, you need to be asking some questions, man. What kind of questions you got? This is brand spanking new. No refurbish on this one. This is the Genie. This one I can't say for like cousin Evan. We're going to have to get a screw drive. We need to try the screw drive from like Home Depot. I looked them up again. I'm assuming obviously with Rich B that was a sale. I looked them up. That was a good price. And they came with a keypad. But it says they no longer exist. We can email you when they come back in stock. And I'm like, I think it was kind of a sale thing and it's just done. So it's kind of like, bummer. So Ryan's guy says, is there a way to speed up a garage door? It's one of the few parts of my house I haven't messed with. I don't think so, unless, as far as I know, unless you have a screw drive. And I guess the screw drives supposedly come out of the box to their highest speed, and then you can set them down to a medium or low. But most garage doors, it is what it is, baby. There's no speeding them up. So like this one, I even looked, I glanced. I ain't saying for sure. I glanced, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't have any settings to speed it up. Because I think it's just a little BB motor, and it doesn't have that capability. Oh, okay, Cookie. I would like them more if they had different sensor mount. Oh, you don't like mounting them? You don't like how they mount to the... it's always kind of... It's when it comes to the Genie and then LiftMaster or Chamberlain, it's like, it's every like once in a while, it's like I do the happy dance. I always remember like when I went to a job and I had a Genie and it was like a brand new construction, drywalled already, and it already had wires pre-ran wires. I was always like, yes. I was like, this is great, because with the Genies, all you do is just stick the wires in, clamp it down. There's no wire nuts and thumbs up. All right, Cookie. And then it's just like sweet. I don't gotta cut the wires, and then I got this extra wire that I feel bad about, and I gotta get gel connectors and try to splice, and then whatever the contractor used, it's heavier wire than what you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, oh man, sweet. I'm so glad we got a Genie for this job. And then there's those times where when you come to a new one that's just like no drywall, no pre-ran wires, it's like, you're kind of like, oh man, I'm glad I got a LiftMaster, or Chamberlain, because the wires, you just clip them onto the track, right? You start stapling them away, bam, 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 bam. There's no splices. But I'm kind of weird because I kind of come from the commercial side a little bit. So, with the commercial, like I've just ran into it so many times that now, LiftMaster always had a good beam, right? They could take quite a bit of wiggle. I don't think the Genies have that much flex. I think the LiftMaster, I believe, have more flex for vibrations than the now that's the residential. I think the commercial ones, they got those yellow ones. I think those are more tight because they got the flat lens on them. If they got the fisheye lens on them, they're better. So that's just my opinion. Bye-bye, Cookie. And so But what I was getting at is I don't mind mounting them to the wall, but they can be tricky. Like obviously if it's drywall or something, got wood to hit, then what do you do? It's like, if you got a hammer drill, then you mount them to the floor. So I can see where Rich B, you know what I mean? I could see it would be nice if they did have a kind of another option. But I just, in my mind, I'm always like, if I can mount it to the wall, that's way better than any kind of flex from the track or the photo eye, vibrates or something. Rich has got, yep, Ryan, I think that's only on the screw drives. Yep, I would agree. You coming back soon for him sometimes. Is that cute? Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Genie shenanigans. Oh yeah, Genie. Two-sided tape. We got that. Put the curved arm on. Why you want to see the curved arm? Just curious. The bags. Robert's got circuit board. What's he got? Circuit board on the side where the sensor wall control inputs are shooting one of the screws and quit playing around. Yeah. It's only $250 just to throw down the toilet. No smoke. He's got, okay, when it's on, battery think it's slow all the time. Yes. Hey, we got 16 likes too. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Surprised we don't got Smith. Where's Smith? He's been messaging me. Mr. Smith. No, it's Mr. Anderson. And what is it in the Matrix? They just call him Smith, isn't it? I don't think they call him Mr. Smith. It's just Smith. When it's on battery backup, it's slow. Yeah. That release is one way, so it can't be opened from outside. Ooh, good call. That's a good idea. This is the new Genie model. It is. This is their new LED. Wanted to give you the Uncle Dave. I think I'm still gonna do it. We're gonna try the Performax because there's a customer out there that's really cheap, and he's in the deserving of a $150, $170 opener, because he was saying something, and I said, if you don't mind one remote. He said, I don't care. It's a spec house. Imagine that. But I was gonna do the Genie, and then I'm like, this is probably a little bit too nice. Maybe. I mean, that would be a nice quiet one at least. I was scared because of Papa Tony's vibrating AC belt drive scared the snot out of me. So I just really did not want to put a super loud door or opener on a non-insulated door and have to hear everything. You know what I mean? Jerry says, do a head swap. Heck no. What's up, Deb? Deb, you gotta let me know when you're on the, I don't know what we would call it. Is it not really on the run? When you're free. I know you're talking about it or something like that. Doing the truck thing, man. I see all kinds of stuff. Like I see these people building these mini houses. There was a nice little truck. I think it was 2-wheel drive, dually. Had an insert. And they were like, we're not going to separate 15,000. But I was like, that'd be cool just to have on the property. Like just have a little place to crash, take a nap. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Old square body Chevy. What street is you overcharged on doors and gates? Oh no. What does it say? Word on the street. I don't think you know who we are. What's that say? What's that guy, Rich? He says, I think that's because he took the motor out. You talking about for Dab? Did you take the motor out of his vehicle or something? What are you talking about? Are you talking about for the square body? I'm a little confused. So we got a what is it, UFC fight tonight? Who's all battling? Oh, Tony. Oh. You really think it's because he took the motor out? What do you think? Like, did he, because some rubber grommets or something? Or you think maybe that motor, ooh, I didn't think about this. You think that motor got shifted a little bit? You know, like how they got slop in the holes? Well, no, aren't they? No, they're not bolt through. I don't think there is slop. Maybe there is. I don't know. But what if you got it off kilter a little bit and that was, you know, that gear? That might be. Never thought about that. Huh. I know, man. I have to agree with you. That thing was like, when it first fired up, I was like, whoa, like they're normally not that loud. Like, and I'm thinking this is coming through a camera. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, this ain't even like real life. Like, it was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. It was super bad. Let's see if this light changed. I'm sure it didn't. I mean, I'm sure it's a really, 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 really slow charge on this thing. Not bad. I mean, this is kind of gaudy, the battery backup. But I'll have to do some more research on this. I don't know what those guys do. Total reprogram. Not bad. Not bad. There's the J. Looks like they gave you a couple pieces of light angle, like most of them do. That's not too bad. I do like, isn't it? Is this true? Can anybody tell me? Is this true that they I mean, I've been seeing in at least the LiftMaster, but the Chamberlain, they don't give you any more hand bangers, do they? For putting up the wires. We had to take a couple out the other day, and Mr. Caleb was saying something about it. He's like, man, these nails are pretty big, or they staples. And I said, that's the old hand bangers. I said they used to give you. I said when you put in an opener, we were working Chamberlain, and he's like, oh really? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I was like, but now they don't give you any staples. So I said, now that's why I always got to make sure I have a staple gun. And then that's hoping that your staple gun doesn't fail. And mine's getting to a failure point where it's sticking. It's doing some weird goofiness. So not good. Hey, at least on the bright side, Genie still gives you a cover for the keypad. Just something to think about. If you live up in those weird weathers, I definitely want to get my hands. We got to do a screw drive. I want to do a screw drive. I want to do it for cousin Evan, just because I know he says he can't. He supposedly can't get them. That's a pretty good idea though, about the safety. So if I can't bring a hook in, and it won't go that way, that's for sure. But I can see why people don't really like this setup. I think didn't SOS do a thing about this rail? I was just looking at it. We just had one pop off the other day. DC. Not bad. Not too bad. Anybody know who's winning if it's the UFC fight? Or just start? Hasn't even. Don't they mostly start most things at like 9 o'clock? Oh. And then Rich, man. Oh, man. Some great finds. Awesome finds on the old YouTube universe for those cars, man. Wow. Car industry sure is having a really, really tough time with a lot of those parts. But that's what I kind of seen in this industry too. You know what I mean? Like I said, it just seems like sometimes they keep, they treat us like mushrooms, Feed us shit and keep us in the dark. What time? 9? We'll go about 9:30 or so. Like I said, if we get somebody with a newbie or something, everybody's watching. I get it. I'll wrap her up, clean her up. I had my fun with it. Looks like it programs to home link. How to program in the alien instructions. So we got that. Probably should read up on that mini split. I don't understand why it's like really weird. I haven't been noticing like a lot of I haven't seen any water come out, but I did originally. It seemed like I seen quite a bit of water coming out of it, and I stuck that brick on there so I could actually, every time I walk past it, I could see it. And now I haven't really been noticing a lot, so I'm wondering if something, I don't know. Mouse, oof. And then you get this. Oh boy, it might be getting a little bit crazy. That's for sure. That is for sure. If you guys got any questions though, if you're thinking about it or getting into the business, all that kind of stuff, I think Dab, he must have been, he didn't ever answer, did he? Let me look back a little bit. Dab did something up here. Yeah, he was cruising through, I think. All that good stuff. Like I said, you gotta be watching. Gotta be watching. All that good stuff. But it was good. I wish you could have seen though. Like I said, when that one comes out, you'll see it, Rich. That guy that took our scrap metal on a bike. That's pretty cool. I should have got it out there a little earlier. You got a question? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be appropriate? Or is it going to be like just some weird like basement talk? No single. No. Oh, Chamberlain. The biker. We got some Chamberlain. I figured that's why I didn't get a Chamberlain, because there's some here. I see the guys burned up a couple, so they must be trying them out. Whatever these ones are. It seemed like, I don't remember exactly. I thought Rich was trying to say these came from Menards. Oh. 6-year motor, 1-year chain. Oh, they're chain drives. Okay. So, you know, if I was a new, see now this, look at, this does not include 2 remotes and a keypad. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm always a 2 remote, 1 keypad person. I just feel like people are conditioned. Maybe they're not nowadays. That's just how it was. Anytime I install them, they're always like, especially when you do it on like a double stall garage, and they're always like, where's the second remote? And I'm like, you wanted affordable, cheap, whatever, it comes with 1. And they're like, what do I got to do to get another one? And it's like, well, you know, if I, you know, and see like that right there even makes me nervous, because looking at that new Chamberlain, and then with Chamberlain coming out in September, probably with a whole new version, how many remotes do I have to carry? 4, 5, 6, 8, something that'll link up. You know what I mean? I don't even know if the, you know, maximum is going to link to, you know what I mean? Like where the genies are, you know, genie remote, pretty much. So that's something to, you know, always think about. But for a technician, oh yeah, all day, man. I'd slap a Chamberlain together. It's pretty easy squeezy. It just feels right. You know, this, I don't know. I mean, I guess I feel like it might not be as glitchy. The battery backup might work, you know, but the parts are unmistakable. Just, they don't feel so good. They feel plastic. So I'd like to get my hands on do a screw drive from the box store, because I feel more confident. I feel more metal, steel, heavier, a little bit. They just feel right. This does not feel right. Older one. Order one for the remote. You could, You could. Are you talking like the other, you talking about that other opener that you were talking about? Because then you just mentioned about the B something. Oh, yeah, the Chamberlain. And if you're talking about the remote, I mean, to some people, so for Jeremy, like, so, and I'm not like, how do I say it? Like, I don't think it's going to come across as disrespectful because I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything on it, but it's just like, I mean, you got a total valid point, right? But I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it's because for myself, when you've had employees, it changes things, the demographic, right? Like when I installed, just like when I first started out and I was basically doing it myself, like things are very like I got this. I got this. You know what I mean? Like, psst, I got this. But when you start having to work with other people and you got subs and you got new guys and you got guys that are coming in or coming out, and it's very it's very cumbersome, if that kind of makes sense, so that's the problem. That's why, like, for me anyways, when I was at the helm, I always I wanted everything to be paid for, and I always wanted to know when it went out this building or this property, they had more than not enough, if that makes sense. Because then people come back and they start grabbing things and that didn't get accounted for, or I'll get you and we'll send you a bill, you know what I mean? And they don't send a bill, or they didn't collect the money right then and there. They're just, but if it's a package deal and the customer paid for that package deal, I mean, it's like, out of all the times I've gotten phone calls, hey, or it's like turns into, hey, I got this, the remote that's been sitting in my truck. Well, it must be an older one. It's been out here for probably about 6 months, and this one doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never, maybe once or twice, but I've never had the phone calls where it's like, hey, boss, yeah, what's up? Hey, customer here doesn't want the second remote. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Yeah, they don't want the second. I mean, they paid, but they said we could just like have it. Like, they don't want it. That doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they're gonna throw it in a junk drawer. They're gonna give it to one of their kids. They're gonna give it to a neighbor. They're gonna set it on the freezer inside the garage. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. It's a backup if that one breaks. So, or if they do have 2 cars. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm always like, I don't like those add-ons. You know what I mean? Those add-ons are a pain for me. And then if the remote doesn't look the same, like you get a 3-button versus 1 button, you know what I mean? Then they're like, what does this button do? And you're like, you just got to use the big one. And they're like already pushing the wrong one. You're like, the big button, the big button, big boy, big button. Oh man. Exactly. That's right. Jeremy, are you doing the garage doors? Do you have employees? Do you kind of a one-man band? How do you, what do you got? Give me some details. You got like, do you like the Chamberlain over the genies? Do you like trolleys over, jack shafts, like jack shafts over trolley? Give me a little detail on it. It's just, these are just experiences I've gone through. And so that's why, like with Rich B, with his doors, which are amazing, which I think I might, if the stars align, what I might do is I'm going to order, I thought about doing a 9x7 because a 9x7 is more common than an 8x7. 8x7 would haul nicer in the little pickup truck. But I thought about when we go down at some point to hang out with Mr. PT, we would, I could kind of compare the Invicta with the Rich B door. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought about. But I'm really happy. Like I said, man, rope, side lock, foot pegs, fine, they work. You know what I mean? Long stem rollers, you know, just some little things, man, make it so much better. So much better. Okay, so you got Jeremy, did you see Papa Tony's when he did the motor? Did you see how he put the belt on there and that thing was like screaming loud? That thing was loud, man. I'd probably be more of an AC guy if they came back, if the ACs had the mechanical limits. I would probably swing more of the AC units. That's why I want to try the Performance Max. I think they're the only ones that I know that are still left that have mechanical limits. So I'd like to get my hands on one. The rail's going to be about the same or worse, I about guarantee it, than what's out here. But I do like simplicity. I'm pretty sure, obviously, you don't need, still with the genies, we could go check. I'll check in a minute here. We'll dry contact it and see if it still fires and runs without that little circuit board. I'm sure they still do, which is great, because that way if you break that out in the field, it's MacGyver. You ever see those Jeeps they put together, you know, like the 4 guys, whatever it is, 5 guys, they tear it all apart on the parade? That's what you need more of. We need more simplicity. Oh. You're going to come too, Rich B? You're going to come meet up and touch the Invicta door? Let's try to dry contact this thing a little bit. I'm just curious. Come out here. It's so humid. All right. Take these wires off. There we go. Don't forget, this has a little circuit board as well, right? And is that PT? PT's in here? No, that's Tanner. What's up, Mr. Tanner? We're gonna try dry contact it here. What, we got still powers on. Nothing saying funny stuff, right? Everything's good. Everybody's happy. No red light of death. It's green under here. Green. Now it's green. All right, dry contact. Here we go. Boom. There you go. Touch the wires just like old school. Let's try it midway. Yep, mid stop. Down it goes. Nope, I messed up. Want to come back up? There we go. Look at that. Just with some wires. 2 wires runs this operator. 2 wires. The way it should be. There you go. Simple. I do like that. Because I have had, I can't remember if I've ever had the Genie ones, but I've had Chamberlain. And I don't remember why. It wasn't, I don't think we damaged the box, but it came out. I remember it was broke as one of these things. One of these guys. And I remember I'm like, dude, this thing is not working. Like, it's just, and I remember the guy looking right at me and he's like, oh, we're screwed. And I'm like, why? I'm like, I got a doorbell. I was like, we'll just hook a doorbell to it. They don't even need to know. They got this thing. He's like, it won't work. I'm like, what are you talking about? We're way over in like, I think it was like somewhere out in Timbuktu of Greenville, Michigan, like almost 2 hours away from here. Son of a biscuit. He was right. And of course, it's, it's like 5:06 or something like that. And I'm just like, oh, dude, you're killing me. You know what I mean? So we had to make, I think I had to make a special trip. There was like no garage door companies around. And then it was 5 o'clock. So that was a bummer. Okay, so I'm glad Tanner put that. I thought Lanier still had, I'm not finding it really easy. Now, I didn't search real hard, but like when I did a little Google search for the old Amazon-y, I couldn't find, I didn't see Lanier kind of pop up anywhere. I couldn't find, I could not find, like with Genie, I can buy those anywhere. I could buy them Home Depot, I could buy them here at like Lowe's or something, you know what I mean? It was like more prevalent. The Lanier, I was just like, I was kind of like doing like geez, these things even exist anymore? Like, where do you even buy these things? And then I went to Performax because I thought, well, I'll just order one, because since Menards didn't have one, I said, I'll just order one. And you can't order them. They're exclusively for Menards. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I checked the one up north, up by the trailer, and they had a couple. I thought, well, maybe a road trip. And then I convinced the wife she had to do something with a family member. So I was like, you just go down to old Holland down there, and you know what I mean, grab me a couple of openers, would you, dear? Says yes if it's not far away. Nice. What's Tanner guy? He says hot. You get down any. Do I get down any farther than the pawpaw? No. I really try not to go south. I've had so many bad experiences down south. I don't know, you know what I mean? And there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. This is just an imaginary thing. I mean, it's got to be because, like, there's no magical line that I know of. But once you start getting down to, like, sometimes, like, about the Holland to South Haven, it gets, like, it just seems like people get really rude. You know what I mean? Like, really rude. Anytime I've always been down there, it's always like they're just like they're on you, grilling you. Come on, you hurry up. When's this gonna be done? And you're just like, jeez, like give me a minute. You know, I'm trying my hardest here. And then it's like you go up north. You know, I thought Traverse City was always the sweet spot, but I think Petoskey's better. I was telling the wife, I said, I think next year I'm gonna find something for a little bit of time, maybe a couple weeks or so, maybe a month. I don't know. I'm gonna find something up there, and then I'm gonna post some ads or whatever, and I'm gonna do some fun stuff up there. Like I'm just gonna work on some doors. Maybe I'll just hook up with another door company, and just have some fun. But I'd like to see what the area, because when I went through there, and you know how it is, like my wife doesn't watch this stuff, so we're good. But I love you, wife. But like we were cruising through there at one time. We had to go up there for a service call. It was weird. Our vendor called us and wanted us to through WD, and which was cool. We went up there, fixed something. It was great. Nice little getaway, honeymoon for us. And anyways, we're cruising through. You know how your wife always is opposite? Like you always say something like, "Man, that was pretty good." She's like, "Not really." And you're like, and then when you say something, "That wasn't really good," she goes, "It was excellent." You know how they're polar opposite? We're cruising through. We're sitting at an intersection, and I said, "Man," I said, "it is really nice around here. Like it is way laid back." And she's like, "I know." And I mean, and I'm like, when she said it, I was just like, "Are you messing with me? You messing with me, woman? Like, what are you doing?" You know? And she's like, "No, I'm serious." And I'm like, well, I might be on something here. So, boy, I always thought Traverse City, but when I was up in Traverse City working at fire department and stuff like that I realized I went to Myers, and I watch people, they're power walking, and I'm like, I start power walking with them, right? And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm up here I'm off duty now, in a sense, and like, I got nothing to do but kill time. Like, I don't need to be power tripping in this store. And I just thought, people were honking their horn, not excessively or anything. Not like Grand Rapids, Michigan or anything like that, but just, I could tell it was a little bit of tension, and I was like, interesting. So, I don't know, but it's just really pretty. We were working, had a really high bank, and there was water. It was beautiful. Ramos, what's up, Ramos? Says hi. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Oh, great. I'll be in Holland in October. That's right. Coming up to old Michigan. Hopefully October, obviously a little cooler. Gosh, it's been muggy. That's the cash talking down there. You think so? You think so? You serious? You serious? I don't. We got a lot of spankings. We did a lot through because the only reason we'd ever go down there most time was through Lowe's, and I remember that was where I got my one speeding ticket. Why is somebody? So that was where I got my speeding ticket. And, of course it was, whatever, on Thursday or something, Friday. In the evening, I'm taking off. I see the cop. I'm like, oh man, I slow down. I'm like, I don't know. I think, how like when you drive enough, you feel like certain areas talk to you. You're like, yeah, this feels like it's probably like 35. You know what I mean? This is 35. And the side road I came off, probably 25. This is probably 35. This is a little bit more of a main road. And, I got pulled over. I mean, this guy just took me to the cleaners, and my truck's a zoo. I mean, I've been working all week, but they don't care, right? I mean, that's no excuse. And it just turned into a nightmare. And then another time down, one of the technicians down there is my business partner time down there, and he had the problem I've told you guys before about with Lowe's. And this person was complaining that we, there was no power in the garage, and she threatened that, well, you're going to fix that. And business partner said, I'm not an electrician, but every light and outlet in your garage is completely dead. It's a separate garage. And he was running an extension cord to her house because she had an outlet on the side of her house. And she's like, she's like, you won't fix that. He's like, I'm not fixing it. I'm not an electrician. And, so we just had a lot of little things, I mean, I've been down there for many different trips. I remember I had a local company here irritate me one time because they called us. I was on the road already trying to keep stuff still going while people were at work at the shop. And I remember they had the audacity, right? They were kind of a bigger plumbing company in our area. And I remember I called them right back. Like the phone rang, I missed it. I called right back. And I remember the secretary, which was really rude of her, I think. And it's weird because now we've done some business and it's been some years past. She's probably not even there anymore. But anyways, I just remember she's like, oh no, she's like, I called the company that answers their phone. And I was like, lady, I just literally slept in my truck so I could get a head start because I'm south today. And you have the audacity to tell me I just called you back. I mean, I didn't even give it a minute between I just called you back, And you have the nerve to say this to me as I just as I'm running a garage door company, and I just slept in my truck with the seat reclined. Thanks. Michigan. Yep, Tanner B. He has a wedding to do or go to in Michigan. So yeah, Rich, he'll be in Holland. He'll be in Holland. He'll have to tell me what he thinks of Holland. He'll have to put his goggles on and see what he thinks about Holland. One thing I've always noticed about Holland, typically, that I never really liked, was it's got a lot of Dutch stuff, a lot of wooden shoes, and then the roads, the darn roads, nothing's at a T, everything's on an angle. So you're like sitting at an intersection, you're like, it's green. Like, who's going? I'm at a V, or at a Y, I should say. And you're like, I think I want to go, but do I go? It's I never liked the roads down there. That's always been kind of a lot of bigger factories down there. Definitely some money down that way. There is some hot spots. There is no doubt. So that'd be interesting. Rich says, you ever been to Tunnel Park Beach? Is that like Holland? Rich, I don't think I've ever been there. I don't think I've even heard of it. Tanner's he says they're very Dutch. And I don't know for sure. I don't know if it's a lot of I don't know this, so don't hold this on me. I don't know this at all. I feel like there's Hispanic in that area. Like I just I don't know if it's with the shops or maybe there's some crops, for like blueberries. I don't know. I just get that feeling of what I've seen down there a little bit just in passing. I don't know. There's just something that's a little, I can't put my finger on it. I can never tell down there. And I think for me, it's almost like a boring area because I have a family member that's down that way and past a little bit south, and it seems like everything is flat. And I really like, if you get up towards like maybe like Shelby, Michigan, or like up by the Silver Lake, the sand dunes, and I mean, it's just great. You know, I don't like walking them, but I like going, I like in a vehicle when you're going over the hills and you see the terrain, especially like in the fall, and you see all the leaves and you're just like, whoa, and you go up like on a hill and it's like, where am I gonna build my house? I want to find the tallest hill so I can come out, you know, with my coffee and look at this when the scenery's changing. You know, so it's always like when you go north, you know, especially like Ludington, Michigan, all that. It's just it seems like at least you got some hills, you know, where it's like when you get down a hill, everything just seems it's flat. It just seems so flat. Brother's fiance family is from there, so they're having a wedding up there. Also doing patient/wedding visiting day trip. Nice. Bring the hunting gear. Let's see. We should all meet there. Tanner's guy says they are very Dutch. We have a town about 1 hour from us that is all Dutch. She lives there for now. Really? Wow. That's interesting. I would have never thought that. Is it Jace? I'm not. Oh, I'll butcher this. Britton, what's up? I love it, mate. What's up, mate? Big brother. All right. Yes, it's north of Holland State Beach. Interesting. But anything about it, Rich? Like, just like it? Is it pretty? Is it small? Is it? I don't think. You know, I kind of go by like the. That might be another reason. So I kind of go by the parks, right? Because I got little kids. Well, I got only really one now. My rest are getting kind of older now. But I'll take her to the park, and I think Grand Haven's probably about one of the more primo ones I found. But I worked my way. I think I was in Port Sheldon. I think down that way, and we stopped at one. Wasn't really impressed. You know what I mean? Like it was bare bones. We went over to one over by I think Georgetown, roughly. You know, kind of the Hudsonville. That one you could tell there was money floating around. So I'm kind of like I always feel like it's weird. I always tell myself like if I ever move somewhere, like I'm gonna check out like I want to walk the schools with the principal or whoever. Like I want to walk the schools. I want to walk to school. I feel like I want to go to the Secretary of State because you guys feel me? Like you go to the Secretary of State, you can get a real good grasp of what's going on around that whole area. You know what I mean? Just by watching people, you know. So, you know what I mean? Or people just, you know what I mean? Like you can just like, so like the schools, Secretary of State, I feel like the parks are kind of one that they're kind of hit and miss. I know those aren't as good. I don't know. Put them in the comments if you got anything else. You know what I mean? That's what goes to my brain sometimes. I'm like, I'm gonna check out the schools. I'm going to Secretary of State. I'm gonna just sit there. You know, sir, do you need something? Nope. I'm just sitting here for a couple hours. See what goes on. I feel like there was another one that was always kind of but maybe it's the parks I'm thinking about. I don't know. Come to the wedding. Got to be like everybody else, right? Is it open bar? Oh, I love it. What's the guy? Be there October 12th, 13th. Somewhere in there. We'll be there for a few days. Nice. Big Bear. What about the Big Bear? What do you mean by the Big Bear? What's up, Kevin? How you been? Hope you're doing good. Oops, hit the wrong button. I don't feel good. I don't feel like home in Iowa. Question. Bring it up. Give me a good advice for a student. A student of what? That's what I'm curious. A student. Study hard. Stay in class. How long you staying? How long are you staying? What's your exit plan? What's your exit plan? India? Are you? Why does it say, are you? That's pretty quick, right? It always makes you wonder if people are doing something. The question, are you single? No. Dave plays his cards right. He could have a few big doors for us. Oh, snap. Dave free labor. Dang. Gonna have to go over to we'll have to go over to Rusty. Rusty's got some big, he had some big doors. I think he was asking you, Tanner, on some time. He asked me and I was like, whoa. I said, I'm out. I said, that's a Tanner question, man. I said, I said either go by the chart if the chart even goes that big. And I said, otherwise, I don't know, I told him 2 or 3 days. Probably 2 or 3 days. Release married. That's a good one. Okay, so where it says Tunnel Beach is nice. The park is on the east side of the bluff. It's wooden, and you go through a tunnel, and you're on the beach. Really? It's like 2 different worlds. Well, son of a biscuit. Now I got my interest. Huh. I never even heard of it. I know some people. I'm friends with some people down that way, and I've never seen them talk about it. And I got a really outlandish one that likes to do all kinds of weird. Never talked about. Jay says, you like sports? No, I'm not much of a sports guy. I just never, I don't know. Like I said, I think it was probably because of my upbringing, honestly. When you come from a divorced family and you're pretty much the man of the house when you're a very young age, and there's only so much you can ask mom, that, you feel guilty. Can't always be mom. I need some money. I need this. So it's just and I started when I was 12. I was cutting grass. For Winky. That was her name, Winky. And Winky was a great lady. I think I've looked up Winky's obituary, and she passed away many years ago. But she was a very nice lady. But her lawn sucked. I didn't like it. It had layers to it, and then she had like railroad ties. And I had to do one with like a Toro lawnmower. And anytime I'd go there, because I'd go there always like a certain time on every like Saturday or something. And her is the grass dry? No. And she sprinkles the heck out of everything. So everything's all just that green, lush grass. And this Toro would always get plugged on me. So I try to go as slow as I could, and that thing I'll start spewing it out everywhere. And then she let me use the rider. She's like, you could use the rider if you want. And I was a little bit intimidated because I'm like 12. And I remember I jumped on that thing. I fired it up. I'm like, all right, let's give it a go. And I start rolling on it. And I'm thinking, hey, the mower deck's set at the right depth from the last person, I would assume, right? I see a stump. There's a tree stump, right? Somebody cut off. And it's sticking up whatever yay high. And I'm like, we're good. Like, we're good, right? Somebody already planned this, right? Like, I shouldn't have to. Man, I just hit that thing. No Craftsman lawnmower. She just kept ticking away. And she was out there working in her thing. I could not believe she didn't just flip up and be like, what in the H are you doing? She just sat there and just kept playing with her flowers. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I just ruined this riding lawnmower. And hopefully she doesn't come and punish me tonight when I'm sleeping. But I remember I found out she would go away. Sometimes I have to go get like some garden supplies or something, or go to the store, get some groceries, whatever. And so she'd let me be. I found out the lawnmower would easily had some weights on it. I think it was in the rear or something like that. So it'd easily do wheelies. And so I found that out. So I was always doing that in the gravel driveway, popping wheelies. Wow, this thing can really pop some wheelies, Yeah, young kid stuff. Rusty, who is winning? Just curious. Bro, how you doing? Is it L? Oh, Puff's sad. Puff is, thing is nowadays, if Puff's a guy, a girl, I don't know what's going on anymore. Brother, what's up? What's up, boys? I'm at the dirt track race. Oh, hard to hear you. Just reading comments. Nice. They got any good food? I know Rusty probably can't hear. Oh. They got good food? Our one racetrack up there in Winston, used to be up in Winston, Michigan. They had a barbecue guy up there. Man, it was to die for. And then they like got rid of him because they said he was cutting into their concession stand sales. And I was like, yeah. Texting and racing. Yeah, that sounds like Rusty, right? Sprint cars. Oh, I don't know. He said that one time they're not that fast ones. I asked him. I think he said he was at one, and I told him. I said, man, I said, is it really dusty? You know, I remember when we used to go up to was it Thunderbird when they were open. Man, they just. I mean, it's like you could just feel the dirt coming off the cars every pass. I mean, you were just sitting there. Get home at night, it's already late, you know, 10, 11, 12, whatever, you know, and it's like, man, no, me first in the shower. What's Rich guy here? It was set up for plowing. What did I miss? Tanner, Rusty. So, boys, did I miss something? There was plowing? What's the plowing? Set up for... gas? Is it a gas station? Who got a cool name like that? Stopping by to say hi. Well, hello. What a cool name. Got a gas station name? Dang, I should have thought of something like that. Ooh, winner takes $5,000. Yeah, that'd be a nice Saturday, huh? Oh, the mower. Yeah, you're probably, you know what, you might be right. I think as soon as you just said that, for some reason, my brain went to, I think I remember there was a snowblower, you know, like that cradle that would go under that thing. I don't even remember what model it was. It was a good size. They had the bigger tires in the back, Craftsman. And gosh, it's like I can almost smell the garage. And I'm trying to think of like what was in that garage for a vehicle. I feel like it was an old like European type car. Definitely never got my attention. But I remember, I think I used to get the lawnmower. Like I'd try to get up as close as I could to keep it, you know, so she had room in there. Nice separate barn, you know, for her husband passed away. So I don't know for sure. I'm assuming they lived there and he passed away. I don't remember the house much. I didn't really try to go in there. It kind of had that old person smell a little bit. It was like a 3 or 4 story different layer. And I remember she had a pool. I do remember the pool because me and my buddy cleaned the pool and we were sliding all over trying to get down. You know, you get to the bottom, it's algae. So, and then leaves, we do leaves. I don't remember, we must have drug them off into the woods, which always felt really weird. We would just like scoot them off into the woods. And it was always like, this doesn't feel right. Like we're not getting rid of the leaves. We're just moving the leaves. Like, it makes sense now. I kind of get it. But back then I was so used to work. You know, when I lived at my mom's house, you know, we always put the leaves in a pickup truck and had to take them to the leaf site. So, yeah. Track winner modifieds. Oh, sir, where do you work? Is this the post office? This is the post office. Yes, I make the big bucks. The post office is here. Where would you like your mail delivered? Because I will get it there inaccurately and not on time, and it will be wrong, and it'll be ripped open. No, it's garage doors. Been delivering goods from Bama to you for 70 years. And what is the verdict? Oh, the gamma. The gamma smell. It's something. It's something, man. It's definitely, you know what I mean? You can, you know, it's just, I don't know. I'm really weird. Like I have this weird like sense where I just go into like, and it could be even probably a really nice house. I mean, unless it's like going to be like just like a brand new house and I don't know what it would take, honestly. But I have this automatic where I just start breathing through my mouth. And so we'll go in places all the time. When I go in with texts and that, he'd be like, man, you smell that? I'm like, no. Dude, you smell that, don't you? And I'm like, I don't smell nothing. I said, I've been breathing through my mouth, dude. I mean, if it's super strong, obviously I'll catch it. But I'm like, it's just an automatic thing, man. I go in somebody's place, man. I'm like, I'm breathing through my mouth. I don't know what it is. It's just, I think it's probably from that old lady that one time, boom, still gives me the shivers. I remember we went to this old lady, and she had a Corvette in there, and it was like an old wood door, and the Corvette's in the way. I mean, everything's packed in there. Everything's dusty, dirty, just kind of the worst of the worst, you know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like looking at the door, and I'm like, I think that was before I was even carrying a flashlight, and I'm like, so it looks like it needs a cables and needs a spring, and it's just an old Crawford crappy door. And I remember she was standing behind me, and I'm kind of like looking at it. I'm trying to meditate with the door, and I could hear this clacky. It sounded like this. That's what it sounded like. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the hell's that noise? Like, why would she be like, is she eating something? Like, what? So I remember I kind of looked, I didn't really see anything, right? I'm like, what was that noise? Because people are weird, dude. People do weird things. I've been to a lot of weird places, man. I had a lady one time trying to lock me in her garage, and she's like shutting the garage door, and I don't know this lady. She's freaking me out, man. She's like hitting the button, and the garage door's coming down, and I'm over there like freaking kicking the photo eye. She's like, why does the garage door come back up? And I'm like, because I kicked it up. Like, I'm like, I don't need it to shut. Like, I can see what's going on, And she's like, no. She's like, we have to shut the garage door. She's like, they're watching me. And I'm like, who? And she's like, we need to shut. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, she's going to trap me in here and kill me. And it wasn't even there for the garage door. I was there for a man door in the back, a screen door that she kicked in herself, that she wanted me to write up an estimate for her insurance, but her insurance wasn't covering it. So I was writing up another estimate. What? I literally got a phone call today. I took an emergency line. Anyways, took an emergency one today. It was for a man door. I'm like, can you send me some pictures? He's like, well, the frame's messed up. When people do garage doors, typically they say, the frame and the track is mangled up or something. So I'm like, I go, so do you need need a framer? Or, what? He's like, well, maybe. And I said, could you send me some pictures? And he goes, yeah. He goes, let me, what's this number? He sends it to one number. It's not working. I got to give him another number. He says it's that. I'd show you, but it's on this phone. It's a man door. And he's like, well, he goes, me and my girlfriend, we got in a fight. I pushed her through the door. He goes, but we're good now. And I'm like, you think I want to come to your house when you just pushed your girlfriend through the door? It sounds like you should be calling the cops. One of you should be calling the cops. And somebody, I'm like, he's like, but we're good now. And the house, the picture looked like the house had nice paint. It looked like there was maybe, it didn't look bad. Like everything looked right. But the jam was all jacked up. The latch broke the trim and everything. And I'm like, that looks like more like a handyman type thing. I said, I don't think we can. I said, I could get you in touch with a handyman like Monday or Tuesday. I said, well, I think I'm gonna call around a little bit if I can. I said, okay. I said, I'll reach out to you Monday and see if you hopefully found somebody. You know what I mean? And I'm already looking at it I'm like, dude, that's a 500, a 1200, 16, 2000. Was trim. You gotta bring trim nailer. You gotta bring caulk. Are you gonna paint it? I'm like, how far do you go with this? And I was just like, okay, that's a weird one. And of course, it was a distance. It was a Grand Rapids area, but then it was somewhere in Muskegon. So everything was not. It was like, am I being punked? Is this a joke? Modifies. door this evening, 16 by 8. Ooh, I found you on Google. Spidey senses. Oh, Vic's in the truck. Oh, so I forgot to tell you, right, with the older lady, right? So I remember, you know, she turned around and we're walking in and she's in front of me. We're walking back into the house, and this house just has this really putrid, like, just, it's like, whew, it's like, what is that smell? Definitely breathing through the mouth, right? Breathing. And then I seen, when she's walking, I seen the clack. I heard it again, and I'm like, what is that noise? Like, what is she doing? Like, I didn't know if she had something in her pocket she was fumbling with, you know. And like I said, I've been around some really weird, so I'm like, I don't know if she's like fantasizing, you know, just like, you know, her fingernails curl. All her fingernails are curled. That's how long they are. And I'm just like, ugh, like, that's gross, you know? And then the worst part was, is I walked out, I got about halfway to my truck. It was a little bit of a walk. And I remember I got out to the truck, I got outside, right? I thought it was good. I did that fresh air, like, right through the nostrils, and it was still in there. And I remember I was just like, ugh, ugh. I'm like trying to get to the truck. I'm trying to, like, I got some kind of like sweet tea or anything just to, like, I wanted to dump it down my nose. I was just like, golly, this is just so bad. And then I'm sitting there just like, I'm like, I got the little Ford Ranger, right? I'm driving the truck. I'm going to go over to my mom's, you know, I had to do something, drop something off, I'm driving, you know, and I'm just in there, got the radio turned on. Oh, I don't know what to think about this. And I remember I go to my mom's, you know, and I'm like in the house, you know, I'm like up by the, you know, kitchen table and stuff, sit down for a minute. And I'm just doing like the, woo, you know, like, woo, you know, man, like, I think I smell my own crap right now. If I'd smell better. And I'm like, and she's like, I told her, she's like, what's going on? You know? And I said, God, man, I can't gotta believe it. It's this lady, you know, fingernails and all that. And she goes, oh my gosh. She goes, and then she's like, could you imagine? She's like, David, how does she wipe herself? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh, is that what I'm smelling? Like, I don't know. You gotta tell me that. I didn't think about that. You know, like all that stuff down there. Oh, why? And I'm just literally like, I'm done. I'm done for the day. So that was pretty bad. That one I don't remember going back. If it wasn't, if I wasn't going back. It was somebody else went. If we did get that job, I was out. If they were watching, they ain't watching. She's old. She's gone. What does it say? He pushed her. Officer? So my wife always told me. She said, you should have been a cop. I said, no. I probably would have made a good cop, but I just, I don't like the politics. I'm not a politics person. So you know what I mean? We appreciate our cops, right? Good for them to be out there. But for me, nope. I wouldn't want to deal with all that stuff. And, you know, and I think a lot of people probably get into it. I just assume. I don't know. But could you imagine, like, you spend all that time in your training, and then you're like, this is going to be my career, and then you start getting into it, and you realize you got to go, like, when I heard that one call not too long ago, right, when they were talking about 13-year-old mad that their mom took their cell phone away. Could you go check and advise? And you can hear the officer like, yep, I'll check and advise. Like, this is the most, and I thought, like, what do you do in that? Like, I would be there and I'd be like, give me that damn phone. You know, like, come here. Yeah, and they'd be I'm calling the cops. I am the cops. I'm calling another cop. You know, and supervisor come out. What's going on? Can't have this. You got body cam. Blah blah blah. You're fired. You know, great. All that training, years of dedication and hard work, right down the tube. Ooh, holy child. What a beautiful name, right? Child of God. Wow, that's nice. Joseph's not as dangerous as being a garage door repairman. Maybe it's not as dangerous, but I don't know. The psychological warfare on my brain, I don't know if I could handle that. You know, like when I talked to the one that stopped here, you know, and it was back when the cost syndrome was going around. And I said, you know, I think it was down even in Kalamazoo. I thought Kalamazoo, Michigan was, there was something posted online or on the radio or somewhere I seen it. It was just like, basically it was like, if you have a heartbeat, come on down and you got a job. You know what I mean? Like, we are so desperate that if you just come, we'll train you, we'll do everything. We'll do everything. Well, you got a heartbeat and you can walk, you're hired. And so I always remember thinking, wow, that'd be a great time to, you know, get into that business. Let me check something. I seen the camera change. I don't know if it's light turned on. It's LED. No, okay. Just something changing. I thought the LED changed on that. I thought, did that opener just fire up for some reason? Like the LED turned on? I know genies can be. I've seen it on the screw drive where just like randomly. I don't know if it's a mouse. Don't know if it's a spider because they got that little dome that's got the sensor. Whoa, Tin Man. What's up, Tin Man? It's been a while. How you been? Hopefully things have been good. Staying busy, life good, family good. Got a question? Well, I'll do my best. 32-inch radius track using Service Spring app. Ooh. And do you use? Dude, why you gotta throw that big old curve ball? We can't even look at the thing, can we? I don't think that's gonna say anything. The old Bookertron here. I don't know. Service Spring doesn't have 32-inch? Wow. That's interesting. How are you going to figure it out? Have you figured it out? Does anybody know how to figure it out? Wouldn't it be pretty close? I mean, wouldn't you be pretty close? Close enough. If it had an opener on it for a 15-inch radius. Maybe just a little bit more power, I would think. Maybe. Does anybody know? Not even 20-inch. Do they make a 20-inch? I know they got what? We got 10, 12, 15, 32. I didn't know we had 20. I've always knew there was 32, I heard, but... Man, this thing's blowing so cold, Rich B. It's just, I mean, my ear's freezing over here right now. It feels great. I just don't know what its deal is when it comes to the setting on this. See, it's on the vapor mode. I got it down to 60. But then it's got different modes. Like, you would think, you go, oh, that one's a, what's that one? That one's a fan. So maybe it was just on fan when it came in. Crap, I can't remember now. That'd be, what's a snowflake? I think that's a snowflake. But it's, come on. What's that one? Oh gosh, it's like some eco mode. I don't know what that means. That looks like a snowflake. Oh, that one's moisture again. All right, we're gonna go back to, let's go back to snowflake, I assume. Snowflake, right? We're gonna turn it down. 67. It only goes down to 61. We don't need to go that much, but let's go to 70. Try 70 out. Feels like it's, who knows. Sorry, I got distracted from the question there. Good. Very, very busy. What have we been working on? I'm just curious. Busy. What's been busy? Scratch. Maybe when you do it alone, like from scratch. Videos. Like, I guess, Joe, what do you kind of talk? Like, I mean, I kind of did the one tonight. And I got I don't remember off the top of my head if I've ever done. I've done some here, haven't I? I mean, I rebuilt some, but they're always pieced together, you know, if I have. I don't know. I've done a few. Obviously, we repaired a few, but I don't know. I probably got some out there. Probably done some Chamberlains, a little bit of Chamberlain. We did that one for Caleb's job. Those were what? Chamberlains. Not even 20, he says. 15-inch radius cables just need to be longer. That's what Kevin's got. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I mean, it might need a little bit more power, not much, but I think an opener would compensate for it. Right? Because you can still put, they just put a heck of a J-bar on them. Right? If it's a 32. I feel like I've done it once. Like you put a really long J-bar, like you got to extend that puppy. Like you use the angle iron special on that. But you really just do a jack shaft too. Low headroom, 10, 12, 15, 20, and 32. Pitch and full vertical. The 20, so Tin Man, what vendor is that you're using? I'm just curious. That's got the 20. Serves S-ring, covers everything but 20 and 32. Well, son of a biscuit. I wonder if that might warrant a call to them. Maybe they'll tell you. Just say it's really the same. I would assume it's pretty close. Just I'm thinking about how it's lifting up, it goes through the radius. It's gonna be pretty close. I mean, if anything, I'd say just a little bit more powerful. You know, like if I was to cut 2 coils off the spring for whatever it told me, you know. Rusty got somebody whack-a-moling. Joe, I will search your site. All right, search my site. Let me know, would you? Yeah, not as good as where I can tell you, be like, oh yeah, go check out that video, how I installed a Chamberlain, you know. Oh, hang beef. Oh man, it's working good. It's just I think I got the settings. Something's going because I think it was set at 72, and I walked in here. I went, it feels humid in here. It felt just like outside. It felt humid. I was like, what the heck? I was like, it does not feel refreshing. And I got this set to 70 right now, and it feels like it's not blowing as cold. I haven't got up close to it, so I'm not real sure what it's doing. I don't know. Do we go off moisture? I mean, I thought, I was really just going to do like an automatic mode is what I was looking for. So the guys didn't have to, but it's a new unit. It's different. So I think it's working fine. It made me nervous when I came in. I went, oh no, something went wrong. And I cranked her down. The old compressor outside was running again. So I'm like, I think everything's okay. It's like a setting. Like it's not pulling. Like I should turn it cold again and go back outside. So that way when I'm kind of done here on the live, I can see if it's dripping. I just feel like it's not dripping enough. I hope it's not dripping in the wall or something. I've been looking for that. I should pull that cover off on the outside and just take a glance, see if there's anything going on. It hasn't puked out in the water. There's no stains. But what I didn't realize, even myself, when we built this is the outside wall, right? The building. So we, when you think about it, right? That's the outside of the building. We built a wall. So that wall is really thick. So there's spray foam on the outside of the wall. And then I must have had the ingenious idea and said, hey, we got this big void. Why not fill it? So there's insulation. It's 2x4. There's a gap. And then there's obviously the wall that goes outside. Well, that, everything was, of course, all my fittings were right there that I work at by the sheet metal. For that mini split up here, and I was like, that sucked. And I got everything, and then of course I went to put it up there to mock it, and it clicked into place, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't planning on it clicking into place. I don't even know how to take it back off. And I'm thinking, oh well, it's all working. I went outside, I could see I had enough for the fittings, and then I forgot I didn't put the power cord through, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I got it whizzled. I got it wiggled back up. I ended up having the wife try and help me. She fed the wire through, and we got her without having to really tear it back down. But I was ready to buy 2 ladders and figure out how to set this thing back, because I put it up there by myself, but I don't really want to take it down by myself. So it's definitely fun. Tin Man, what's Tin Man got here? Where we at? We got a little bit of battery still left. Busy with service calls, building custom doors and track setup. Ooh, nice. Work tomorrow. At least it's Sunday. Get to party. All right. Nice. So Tin Man's doing some custom. Nice. Building some doors. Boss don't care as long as corporate doesn't find out. Dang. Holy moly. Lynx and Atlas. Whew. Those are some weird ones, man. That's not us. So Ryan, what kind of opener is it? Do you know what kind of opener it is? Most of the time you can't speed them up. Is it Pastor Mark? Is Mark rich? Because I need a really rich friend, or I need to look like a really rich guy. Then we can hang out. Yeah, Trump will save you. Yeah, is awful. Oh wow, it's starting to get really fun, isn't it? Let's see here. Game, fan, Jesus is the way, truth, death, and a relationship with all of us. John. Oh, Trump will save you. He prayed to. Trump couldn't even make a deal with Russia yet. What? He's just bluffing, isn't he? Only thing we figured was spring was high lift door, 20-inch radius, 20-inch lift, 32, and 15 inches of high lift. So here's how you did your springs. Yeah, I'm not, like, we don't deal with a lot of 20-inch and 32. That's very, very rare for us. I know the guys never really liked the 10-inch. They always had something about the 10-inch, but they really didn't like. 10-inch was okay for me. I always kind of got away with it. But most time, for us, it's not even really 9 times out of 10. It's 10 out of 10. I mean, we always order it, right? We order it, so we're not building them. So we order it from the manufacturer, and they're gonna send us with all the stuff ready to go, cables, drums. We don't build them from scratch. So for you, that's a tough one. Maybe the manufacturer could tell you more or something, or I don't even know if Service Spring, if you gave them a weight, what you got, maybe they could figure it out on their system in the background if you call them. Scotland, what's up, Scotland? Never said. Darn, it says, I have no idea. I was just thinking that since a motor, there would be some sort of speed control on it. No, unfortunately, they don't. They're pretty much just like, I don't know what I could explain them like. I guess they're kind of like a lawnmower or something. They just kind of, when they run, they run. I mean, there's no, not like, I'm talking like a push mower, not a, riding mower. But no, there's not really much to do to speed them up. They're just, if it's a Marantechs run pretty slow. You can always just change it out with a new one. You know what I mean? You can put a screwdriver on there. You'll be rocking, as long as it's a good balanced door and it's a good solid door to do it. Because otherwise, the screwdriver will also destroy the door with so much speed. Hello, is Russia? What's up, Russia? Even was buried in the enclosure, even if it's buried in the enclosure on the track. I wonder what kind it is. You could always email me, Ryan. You can always email it. Put it in the description below, the Dave A daveadubson@gmail.com. In the description below, you can always shoot me an email with some pictures. Pictures does a lot, but more than likely, like I said, whatever you got, I don't know of any openers that you can adjust speed except for the screwdriver, the Genie screwdriver. And like I said, it would have been set up probably with the high speed already, but you know, you can set it down to low or medium, but sometimes they just run kind of slow. Like this opener out here, this Genie, this one runs kind of slow. Tomorrow I'll grab some photos. Yeah, grab some photos. Like I said, this one, did you see this one running? We were playing with this one tonight. Remote. This is a newer belt, which I would not quite recommend, but it's, you know, it moves, but it's just not super. It moves, but it is quiet. Let's listen to it. Smells like circuit board already. Not too bad. It's working. I think it's still got the green light on. Does it still got the green light? It's got the green light on. I don't know what the green light. At least green light's not red light. I know Genies, they get the red light of death and you're done. Kind of has that weird, that light to me reminds me of like a, it kind of reminds me of a grandpa light over like a little workspace. That's what I just feel like, that light kind of. Maybe it's the wood of the ladder, the old wood ladder and stuff. Just kind of got that old like little grandpa light, you know. So I'll pull on it, but I can't do that too much because it's not super strapped down. Always got to give her the flick. Huh. See if these are starting to feel hot because it was earlier, but see how the battery's doing. Nothing. This cord thing is a little bit. I've felt better. I guess luckily you're not up here playing with it all the time. Rich says, he says battery charging, the green. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. We'll see. Like I said, I'm probably just gonna leave it assembled, and that way, if one of the guys want to use it for a job, they can. I'll put the stuff in the box, put a price on it for them, and then we'll see about the Performax because he's supposed to grab those tomorrow, I think, and then we'll go from there. I don't know why I'm so excited about a Performax. I don't know if it's just because I look at the price and I go, wow, $150, $170, and then I go, wow, it's got mechanical limits. Like, how simple. I just like everything, like I just want simple, man. I just like, I'm hoping, like, that weird part of me is like, I want it to fail. So it's not gonna go far, that's for sure, for a customer, right? But I want it to, like, I want them to call and be like, this thing is like, and I'm like, yeah, it's a piece of junk. Like, nothing's changed. Or it's just like, nobody's calling me. What's going on? Hey, guy, man, is that opener? Yeah, it's still working fine. Why are you calling me? Well, I don't know. It's been 6 months. You haven't called. You know, a year later, 2 years. Why are you still calling me? Oh, is it still working? Tomorrow grab. Saw earlier. Awesome. Lift master maximums, you can speed up and slow down, Tanner says. Oh, yeah, that is a nice feature. Only other openers would be jack shafts that have chain sprockets. Change the sprockets. Man, about they really cheaping out these days. What happened to chains? You can still do chains. They can still do chains. It's just a lot of people don't. You know, I mean, there's a couple of things. Well, some people don't remember, you know, about the chains. One, I do believe the chains wear out faster. And I mean, but don't get, you're still going to probably get 8, 10, 15 years out of them, depending on how much you use them. But you got to remember that chain, every time it's going around that sprocket, it's chattering. And it puts internal pressure on, or wears out the internal gears faster, I believe. But you know, it depends on the door, right? The door is a nice, light, easy door, belt drive, no problem. You know what I mean? They just do it for quietness. But it wouldn't surprise me too that the belts, obviously, they charge more for the belts, which is always kind of weird, but the belt's probably cheaper than the metal chain. Battery charging. Steven for 20-inch radius must pick high lift instead of standard. Then enter 12-inch. Oh. So for the 20-inch radius, must pick high lift instead of standard lift. Then enter 12-inch of high lift. Also must be the Amco 400-4 drums. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that. Tanner, you think they know they suck to put together and wire and set limits. Oh my gosh. Tin Manny's got, that's what we figured out. Our spring guys, that's been doing it for 30 years, went on vacations, so been fumbling around trying to get doors out. Oh, gotcha. I was curious. What's this one? Let's see here. No. Let's see. Okay. It says hello. How much is in your hometown in inches? Oh boy. Kevin's got, can be figured either way. Technically, a standard lift drum will handle 18 inches of high lifts. Huh. You can change the sprockets out of trolley. It's a pain, but you can, done commercial, that is, the commercial ones. Yeah, and then you could like try to stuff an ATS in one of those LiftMaster, the bigger sprocket ones that they used to have, remember the duals? But, was the bigger one or was it a smaller one? I forget. Says, do the chain lifts not have grease points, piece of equipment and moving parts? Not really. Not really. I mean, there's spots you could spray like the front pulley, but there's nothing they're gonna really tell you, and there's nothing really grease. It would just be more like almost like a WD or a garage door lube, whatever you'd buy from the store. 3-in-1 type oil-ish, you know what I mean? Motor oil, it's kind of messy, but you know, something just keep it, just a little bit of lubricant on it, but not really grease. Residential performance mag openers, that is Dave, they suck. I know. But I was impressed. You know what I was kind of impressed about? I was impressed with the mechanical limits. I was impressed with the tech support. The dude was really great. I mean, just boom, we had it, right? And I was a little bit impressed that SOS commented on that video and said, that sounded like Craig or something on there. And I thought, does he mess with these? Like, you know, so I thought, you know, maybe I've kind of turned a blind eye, because don't get me wrong, I've had my, so like my brain just thought of this. So like the photo eyes, right? I always hate those photo eyes. Like they never want to stay open, and the wire on them just, ugh. But I feel like, I don't know what's going on, but our selection out there, even what came, the photo eye wires that's coming with, you know, I believe, don't quote me on this right yet, but it's the Genie and LiftMaster. The wire is getting so thin and cheap, it's feeling like the same kind of crap. Like I'm literally trying to splice it tonight, and I'm just like, it's not splicing like it should. So I'm just like, oh, like, well, if I got to deal with crappy photo eyes, and I got to deal with crappy wire, and then I got to deal with, I'm assuming, obviously, I'm about guarantee, obviously, with the Performance Max, those are dry contacts, so I can just take 2 wires and touch it in the open or run, because it's basically a doorbell looking style. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like I just go, if I got to deal with junk, I just rather deal with simple junk. If that does that make sense? Like I don't know. Making a joke. What's up? No grease, no grease, no grease. Tanner's residential. No. And like I said, this one customer, he kind of this one's a builder, and he was wanted a really like stellar price. I'm just like, you're gonna get one remote. I'm gonna put in the cheapest opener I can find, because you're gonna be my guinea pig. You're gonna be mine. And so I guess I went to Menards that one day, and I was all giddy, and then I was like, they offer a belt drive. I was like, well, maybe I want a belt drive, but I think those extreme, remember they had those buttons, those really silly buttons. So I might have to do some research tonight, like really called ASAP, to make sure. Because if that is the case, I'm probably just gonna go with a AC unit, or I might throw in this Genie. But that Genie's too expensive. That's almost like what is it? 150. So that's what, about like almost like another 100, like $125, $150 more for this particular customer. And this one comes with 2 remotes and also a keypad. And I'm not giving them 2 remotes and also a keypad. I'm giving him 1 remote. You want cheap? You're gonna get cheap. Design flaw, if you ask me. WD isn't a lubricant. No, it's a water displacement. But people know what it is, and people use it, and it does make stuff a little bit slippery. So, I always tell people WD, if they're, like I'd rather them use something else, but I look at it like if they spray their door once a year with WD, it's going to be so much better. Because you know how it is when you go to somebody's house and that rust is like solid rust, or the spring is solid rust, and you're like, dang, like that's just not good. So like if they think whatever, WD, vegetable oil, I don't care, just use something. Spray the store down once a year. You know what I mean? The lighter, the better, I think, because like I use that multi-purpose stuff from Service Spring. That stuff would build up, man. It builds up, turns yellow, gets kind of nasty. Tanner says, points that I have ever seen. What is this? Every piece of machinery that use chains, oil bath, chains pass through to extend life or of the chain. That's a good point. I mean, I think about it like on the skid steer. The skid steer's is supposed to be bathed in oil, and they use it for the drives, for the wheels. That is kind of a weird concept, right? And then they got the ones, right? Did they have them for motorcycles, where they had like the bushings, the little rubber that was supposed to be like little O-rings or whatever that helps keep it lasting longer, or lubricant, or it's kind of they wear down as a lubricant or something. I can't remember. I feel like I remember something about motorcycle chains, dirt bikes. But not in the garage doors. Maybe it's just because they're so slow or something. I mean, gosh, I can't think of ever having a chain. I've had sprockets, but the sprockets break because the bushing, nothing to do with the chain. I don't think I've ever had a chain break, besides like a master link fall out or something, but no, I can't think of any chain breaking. Door, have a good day. Well, thanks, Stark. Residential openers, we usually tell the customers that manufacturers set speed for safety purposes, and they really shouldn't be messed with. It's a good point. Good point. I like that. Hey, 10:30. Well, thanks for letting me know what time. Tim Man, fair enough. I will swapped out then. There you go. Pay. That's right. Rich has got 9:30. He's got the early bird over there. Lucky. Let's see, what did I miss here? Tanner, yeah, you would think, Ryan, but no, but honestly, in Northeast Iowa, openers can be in cattle barns, shop barns, you name it, take a beating, and chains last a long time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's true. And for some reason, belt drives, I think belt drives, they're a little bit nicer. This is obviously for like a clean, like what Tanner's mentioning and stuff like that. Yeah, man, you gotta go chain. I mean, straw and dirt and just cobwebs, and you just need a good old chain on those bad boys. But like the belts, I worry that if they get dry, they start squealing. I don't think I've ever seen one really jump the teeth too much or strip them out. I've seen them sag, but they all kind of have their pros and cons. But it is amazing. Chains, like I said, I've never had one break or wear out to a point where I'm like, oh my gosh, a chain. I mean, it's always when you buy the ones that are the cheaper ones, it's got the half cable, and then end chain, it's always where the cable comes together, where they bend it, it'll break right there. That's pretty common. So that's why I always used to that's why I like the LiftMaster, right? Because I was like, hey, it's fully chained, But to be honest, it's always weird, like for customers, not so much for Ryan, but I think about customers and that they don't care. I mean, you could be putting $50 or $100 more in your pocket, and they just want it to run. You give them some remotes, and if they have a problem, they call you. 10:30. Where do you work? Where do you work? I guess it's not as big a deal as I'm thinking. Nah, the chains are fine. There's been a lot of chains. The only time I've ever seen chain ever kind of wear out in some of the business that I've dealt with is really gate operators outside in the elements and salt and snow and rain. But I can't really even think of one that's broke. I think about they get pretty worn out. They get pretty rusty. But those chains can really take a beating. When it comes to the garage door world, though, I can't think of anything except for, they need a little adjustment here and there. I've seen more loose ones on the limits. Seems like, you ever see on the limit nuts ones that run those commercial jack shafts? It's like that thing will have a real big sag to it, and it's like, well, how do you get rid of that? Like, there's no adjustment. It's just pin and pin, and it's like, this thing must get used a lot, like, or something for it to have that much, or it was like that way. And I put new ones on before too, and they're still pretty loose. But I'm like, it's just moving limit nuts. It's not like it's moving the door, so that's no big deal. Tanner, yeah, just goes saying I don't make them. Used to, just like when they made new Maximas, as need to keep engineers out of the picture. Need to talk to good door guys. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? That would be nice. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see. I'm more nervous. I'm more nervous to see what September is going to bring. Especially if like if LiftMaster is going to have everything, and then since now that, did you know Tanner? Did you know in 2021 that LiftMaster was bought out by the black and the guy that the black, and then there's like a stone, I think, or something like that. I don't want to say the word because I'll probably just drop like a rock, or the guys in the little suits will come running. But I wish I could show you. But they bought it, and so I just don't have much faith in them anymore, to be honest. It's going to be interesting to see what the IDA is going to be like, because the last one I went to, and I don't remember what year that was, but I remember it felt like a bunch of young kids, and I remember they just stood there with their nice little shirts, and it's like it just did not feel like I was being taken care of. And I don't need people to worship or anything. I just walked in there, and it was just like everybody just seemed like they didn't even want to interact with you. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't even interested. And I literally go to the ones for I walk over to the genie one. Got a wonderful lady over there, Danielle, and she's just like, "Hi, Dave." She's like, "I follow you." Blah blah. I mean, just like they were so in tuned. It was a different world. It was like they were asking, like, "Yeah, questions. I mean, what have you been seeing?" And it could be just smoke up the hiney, but it was like they cared. I was like, "Wow." And then I even had dinner with I can't remember if it's guy or gay. I can't remember, but it's a girl, and she's a very lovely person. She's one of the tech support, and I got to talk to her too. Even tech support, I'd call her up, "Hey, it's me," and what's going on, and it was just like no BS, just like right down to it. So that impressed me. And that's why it impressed me with Performax when I called, and I thought, here we go. Like, I'm just waiting for like the, hi, did you plug the power in? Yes, I plugged the power in. Did you set doors? Door set? Yes, the door is set correctly. Please, Lord, please. Like, I don't even have it connected. Like, it just won't run. And the guy was just, I think his name was Gary or whatever. Gary's super cool, man. He's just like right down. He's like, all right, why don't you try this? I'm like, all right. And then he led me and boom, we got it fixed. And I'm like, this dude's amazing. I was like, this is great. It's like, this is all I ask. It's for service. Please, thank you. This is wonderful. And he said, I think he said something about the wall button. He said, I'd still recommend replacing that wall button. I said, I didn't do it. So I said, I don't know where the original or the wall button for it is. I did think that was interesting. It worked fine. Never got a call back. But I just didn't know. I was like, why do they say that? Did the wall button, can you not do it dry contact? I assume it looks pretty simple. So, it's to me, it's always about, it's the service. It's who is going to be fighting for the blue collar person, because, other stuff doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That other stuff, they're just whatever, a tech company, you know what I mean? They're just there to get surveillance and to incriminate and whatever else, and to figure out how they can sell you something more, it seems like. But I don't know. I'll make engineers Rich B from SS has lithium grease in it. I think that stuff from SS Surf Spring has lithium grease in it. It's on that multi-spray lube. I bet you're right. I always used the gel spray lube, and then there was like the multi-purpose spray lube. And I kind of found out, like, when you're spraying the multi-purpose, like at first it's not so bad, but like it seems, 6 months, a year later, you go back and you can see the overspray. It's yellow, and it's like, ooh, it's like, it's like you go to a customer because something, maybe the opener, photo eye or something, and you're like, dang, dude, you're like, did I do that? Did I do that? Did I leave that? I'm so sorry. This is a really nice door, and you spent thousands of dollars, and I sprayed on their yellow paint. I mean, it ain't quite yellow. It just looks like urine stain, but it's like, ooh, man, sorry. That's not good. Steven, WD or WD-40 is a solvent. Do not use on garage door lube. I know. They use it it's a cleaner. WD's it's like eggs, right? To this day, the American adult can't tell you, right? Even the GOV, they can't tell you. Nobody can tell you. Are you supposed to eat an egg? Are you not supposed to eat an egg? Are you supposed to eat the whites? Are you not supposed to eat the whites? Are you supposed to eat the yolk? Are you not supposed to eat the yolk? Is WD a lubricant? Is it for water displacement? Is it a solvent? Ooh, I wanted to ask Rich B on this, because he got my wheels turning. Rich, what do you remember that little aerosol can you were talking? You were like, you could put some liquid in there, let's just say, and then you could use it to spray on the garage door, for hinges, the air one. I thought that's pretty cool. That was a good idea. And then I thought, could you? I don't see why not. I thought, could you put compressed air and use that for like your chainsaws? So like I buy little bottles because we got addicted to them now. Like now we huff them and stuff. No, I'm joking. But you know the ones they use for your keyboard? Is there one hanging out here somewhere? There probably is, right? Is there? I thought there was one sitting here somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's not this brand. We use the better brand. I don't know which one's better, right? This stuff, right? Stuff for your keyboard, right? You know. No, don't do that. But anyways, I use this for sometimes when I'm running, when I'm doing chainsaw. So you know how you get the crap around your, you know, your caps and stuff? I don't like that in my chainsaw stuff. You know, my gas and my oil. So you spray that. Works pretty good, right? But these can be a little bit costly, whatever. I just saw about that can and I thought, what about that can? I was like, that Rich B scent. I was like, if you put air in that, I was like, and you just use that, you know, save you a few times. Maybe you wouldn't have to use this so much, you know, maybe just an idea. But then I thought, I don't know, the way it missed, I don't know how it sprayed out or whatever. It wasn't, I have to rewatch it, but just an idea. So, hey, might be kind of nice. Because I brung, you know, sometimes if we've done heavy stuff, like up north, you know, or whatever, I've brung like air compressor and, you know, you got to bring the hose and it's like, you know, it just works out better. I've used carb cleaner, I've used brake cleaner, but you know I don't like putting those chemicals on your saws, you know, for paint wise and stuff like that. So the air stuff works pretty good. This is the best I've found. You know what I mean? That's convenient, stays with your tools and stuff and your chains. Pick their mind. They have them designed. There are a lot of changes that could be made that would make openers great again. Yeah, unfortunately, Tanner, I don't think we're gonna go down that. I don't think things are. I think there's. Is that thunder or like fireworks? Some weird noises. Oh, we got some love. I see the love. Careful. I'm an engineer. He says, pushing for most robust and easiest service solution I can since I started on the manufacturing floor. So Ryan. Oh, I see the hearts are flooding. So Ryan, like, there's some good videos out there. Oh, I forget which one. Oh, I'm running low on juice. There's a guy out there, the car guy or something like that. I think he's only got about 55 subscribers, 55,000, something like that. Anyways, he talks about engineering and stuff. And I have no doubt, right? He talks about how the engineers want to build a really robust, good product, but then the bean counters come in, and that's what we always kind of talk about. I talk about on this channel where it's like you get cut down, where it's like, well, that's you gotta, you know, we gotta cut the cost. You know what I mean? So. If I know who that is, that's doing the hearts. I tell you something else to do, but I don't know how to do it in code. Let's see. Breeze, was it? Breeze? I saw 2 video. Dude, drained gas tank filled with WT and it ran. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm assuming, I wonder if WD would be for like the diesel. Like, would they work for diesels? I see the heart. I see this. Who's doing this? I'm onto this person. What do we celebrate today? What would be instead of the hearts and the smile? What do we celebrate today? Let's see here. Well, I can tell you made the new Maximum Jack Chef Hoppers AP with new spring bar. Stay designed as before. Oh man. An engineer, you have worked out in the field for a year and seen the real world. I agree with Rich B. Oh man. Oh, yeah, see? Celebration. That's what it was. I think I'm on to you. Where are you from? We're from Michigan. We're Michiganders. Why my tripod feels crooked? I'm so sorry. All right, we'll go to 11 here. We gotta crunch this puppy up here somewhere. Let's see here. Can you stretch your hair? Oh, tweak, little star. I don't know about that. The old chain I've ever seen break was on Salt Shed. The springs broke. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Full weight of the door snap chain destroyed the sprocket teeth. Yeah, that sounds about right. I could agree with that. I bet that. Hired a bunch of kids straight out of college who never touched a wrench before in their lives. Wow, that was a good one, Ryan. That was a good one. That got me under the rib cage a little bit, because now that you said that, and then I think about when I went to the IDA and it was like a bunch of younger kids, and then it just seemed like it was like, you know what I mean? It was just, we got the best. I mean, we know we got the best. We got the John Deere, and it's like, all right, like, yep, I guess you guys are the best. Like, I guess you guys don't really know what's going on out there. It's like kind of like when the sales guy came after Dennis. Dennis was a cool cat. He was like that guy that just like, he's like, I'm out of here in a year or two. I'll tell you whatever you want. And he's like, like, I don't need you. You can be here, but it's, it's good to know you. And then like the new kid come in, and it's like he's trying to like sell some edge for a gate, and it's just like, I'm like, I want to be like, do you know the problems we're having? Do you know the struggles that we are having right now? Like, and you're bringing me this gate edge that we're going to be a guinea pig on? Like, no, dude. Like we're good. We're good right now. We're good. Thanks. Like, come back when you like want to know how to make things better, and will make things better. And that's why I've learned over the years, the salespeople and that, they feed you. I'll talk to somebody. I'll see what Dude, you're like a speck of sand in there. You know what I mean? Unless you're the ribbon brand, the red one. I don't even know if they can get. I mean, I don't even know if Mr. T, I don't even know if Trump could get something done on that, Toasty, help me. Or at any point in your life. No. Oh, we've been using old style sweater bars, Tanner. Every install video LiftMaster put out, they don't use one. Interesting. Well, they need oh man, finally. I knew we got Tom Hanks. Finally, Tom. Tom, I need a little bit of a vacation. Can you hook me up? But Tom's got money. Tanner, be nice. Military. Where's all this military stuff come from? No military. I hate them. Shell and all. Holy crap, we're gonna have to. It's blowing up here, guys. Appreciate the likes. We'll go to 11. If I don't catch you, I don't catch you. I spread a lube, oil, sprockets went down. Just keep a sealed container. Oh, what's up, Travis? Hope you're doing good. Patrick, Velvin, top of, from compressor. Ooh, so you're saying like put a tire like in this? Might not be a bad idea. My guess is like, how am I gonna drill without having sharp edges? Oof. Shows none of can upside down. Master work. Recharge it with a bike. Oh man, Rich, I tell you, I'm serious, Rich. Rich, you're a smart guy, man. I tell you, you got always some really crafty ideas. I definitely appreciate it and admire it. 100% the case. Come at a bean counter. Oh yeah, risk of our reputation rebuild. Yep. So I'm telling you, man, those bean counters, like maximum profit, keep building, shit cheaper. Oh man. India, it's morning. Oh man, can we have the sun back? Let's have the sun back. Make sure you let it come back this way tomorrow. Oh, there you go. Blood pressure. I sir Uncle Dave. You like it? I like it. Caleb got one too. His is a little longer, but I like mine short. I'm kind of a, especially in the summertime. Oh man, somebody got whacked in there. They were hitting them hard. Yeah, I don't like the hair in the summertime, especially my hat. I don't like my hat not fitting. You know, in the wintertime, it's not so bad. I like it because, you know, when you cut your hair in the wintertime, you're like, ooh, man, it's cold. And plus you got bigger hats and stockings, you know what I mean? So, but in the summertime, my ball cap doesn't, you know, and I always like a ball cap just because if it starts raining, the sun, you're working on a gate, you need your hat to put on a photo eye. I took it off because I was sweating out there. So I decided to X-say. Yeah, Ryan, like I said, make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. If you get a chance, send some pictures. It'd be just fun to look at. You know, it's my email, the Daveadubson@gmail.com. I typically put in all my videos in the description below. But yeah, that's cool too, man, that you're an engineer. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's nice to have an engineer around. And, but that's what I kind of figured. And that's what it kind of sounds like. Like I said, you get the bean counters in there and it's, you know, it's just unfortunate. A lot of stuff's, you know, we're struggling. I think everybody's struggling, right? The automotive industry, the HVAC industry, the garage door industry. There's just so many things. So like for me, I can definitely, like, you know, with Rich B, you know, recommending the door manufacturer. It's been just a great to see somebody actually take some pride and build stuff right. You know, it's been awesome. So. Hey, it's your birthday, Travis. Well, happy birthday, man. It's my number 2 kid's birthday today, too. So you both got birthdays. So come on over. Still got some cake. Man, money. Oh man. Well, if they keep printing it, you know, if we get another stimmy, that's diluting the money. So I don't want to hear it when people are saying, "Oh, inflation." Yeah, well. You get that free money. It's diluting the rest of the money, you know. I wish they do something about it the right way, but it's probably not going to happen. We're feeling it. He says, we're considering buying springs from Europe. Wow. Tin Man, you guys like, oof, man, Canada's getting murdered. It feels like with just, talking to Cousin Evan, I mean, whoa. The price of everything, like seeing what garage door openers cost. And then, you know, I think he's kind of alluded to me one time about kind of the pay. And it's just like, you know, I'm like, oh, you're probably making double or triple than what we do down here. And I'm like, that's why I'm always, you know, I'm always really, really, really trying to help the younger generation. And if I would have known what I know now and I could go back into a younger body, I would do things a lot different to expedite things a lot easier and quicker instead of getting stuck or brainwashed into the consumption of things, right? Oh, I have to go get a house. Oh, I have to go get married. Oh, I have to buy that nice car. I have to, you know, all those things are going to be anchors. So, you know, there's like, you know, there's healthy food and there's bad food. There's good debt and there's bad debt. So you got to be really careful. And everything has every action has a reaction. So that's why it's, you know, and it's easy to sign, right? It's easy to sign. It's hard to get rid of, you know, and there's just certain things that you do in life that, you know, you can make mistakes, especially at young ages. And, you think you need this, or you think that's going to be, and it's normally not always that. It's just getting out there, hustling, grinding, you know, being disciplined, and not listening to all the noise around you. You know what I mean? Just being focused on you. Make sure you make good decisions for yourself. And you know, it's hard. It's hard being a man. We have a lot of pressure on our shoulders. There is no doubt about that. Oh man, contractor ghosts you. Sometimes it's just not a good fit. Sometimes it's just not a good fit. You know, I mean, sometimes it's just there's gonna be, you know, they can come back around too. You know what I mean? There's bottom feeders. You know what I mean? We just don't know. We just don't know. We just do the best we can. You know what I mean? It's just everybody, you know, that's why you have to do what you have to do. If 20 bucks is better than no bucks for the day, then go make 20 bucks. You know, but there's times when, you know, people just have to understand. Maybe you could be in a demographic too, kind of like sometimes like what we are. It's hard. You know what I mean? You get some, you lose some, you know, it's a tough one. This market is tough right now too. Everybody is really crunching down. Myself included, you know what I mean? What do we got here? We blew up a little bit. How are you? Going good? Hey! I didn't land that job. Man, that was a bummer. What's up, Smith? If you know too, Travis, where that job is, obviously you could always go there too and talk to them face to face, or just say, hey, I'm just curious, you know, what did you, you know, find somebody else, or, you know, what was it, or this and that. But there was a lot of work there. That wasn't a very easy cookie cutter job. Working 60 hours a week, living well within my means with no debt. Whoops. Oh, this is good. Can't afford a house or car. I don't want to rely on a romantic partner. Yeah, I mean it's you know, I mean it's one of those things nowadays you gotta almost have two incomes, you know what I mean, to really even try to attempt to have and sometimes a job just isn't enough. You almost gotta have a part-time job or a side gig, or you know, weekend hustle or something, you know, or a weekend job. It's tough. It's tough, man. This stuff's expensive. That's why the GOV, right? They say you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. That's why we're gonna all be down by the river in our vans, not those damn trucks, the vans, because you can sleep in a van, can't sleep in a truck. I just had to put that out there for Tanner. That's okay. Travis doesn't need the job in your life. They can deal with a lesser door company. Yeah, Tanner, you have seen this job too. Like everything was brick. I'm like, how are you gonna run like the wall button and stuff like that? Like, I mean, that's all stuff that takes time. Everything's brick. The ceiling's brick. The walls are brick. I told him, I said, make sure everything gets furred out. You know what I mean? With wood. I think we had a number. I think we were at like 12 or 16, and I think it was for a 12 by 8 or something. I can't quite remember. I think there was gonna be possibly an opener. And I said, you got angle in there. I said, you know, you could be talking, you know, three days, give or take. And it's just because there's, you know, it was a little bit of a tight area. We'll just let them roll. Have to get off. You have a great night, sir. You too, Travis. Climb. Yeah. Let's see here. We'll just go to the ones that we know. We got Smith in the house. What's up, Smith? Have you considered? No sugar daddy. Project manager. You can sleep like a baby in a Duramax, right? That Duramax, you know, you gotta let her run through the night, man, purring, right? You know, it's like, you know, get a little massage while you're sleeping too, you know. Everybody's doing good. We're pretty much coming. We're going to be heading off here any minute, Smith. So, unfortunately, you're kind of at the last. Hope you're doing good. I don't know if you're working tomorrow or work today. Hopefully, you had a good day. Hopefully, the carts, and hopefully, you didn't get too much heat exhaustion, and you drank plenty of water. I think there's a little bit still left in Wes. So, we'll see how it goes. 4x4 so you don't get stuck in the mud. Tanner's always got the best stuff, man. He's got like the nicest boots. He's got the nicest, whoops, I got one more. We got 10% left. He's got the nicest boots, got hammer, got the trucks. So I had to put out that little picture or whatever and give Rusty some crap. Said, hey, I said, Tanner needs to get Rusty a new hammer because I seen the hammer and I was like, I looked at her, I looked at it, I was like, is that like one of my dad's old hammers? Like with the old black rubber, what, like the chrome shaft. I thought, dang. Electrician's number, run conduit, ooh, clean as possible. Everybody have a wonderful night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Same to you, Ben Affleck. Oh man, all kinds of money. Yeah, and Tanner, here's the thing. With Travis, he's got a little bit of he's got a little bit of an injury, so he's working slower than normal. So I kind of thought about it, and I told him, I said, man, I said you'd have a day just getting the door plumbed up, and then I said you might have another day with like the opener. And then I said, you got to remember, I said, you got to use a hammer drill. I said, for the back hangs. And like I said, I can't quite remember the size. I think it was a 12x8 or something like that. And he sent me a picture and it was like, one wall, how it is, like the one wall was right there. So I'm like, hopefully they grow it one way because they were bringing it in a little bit. I said, well, hopefully they bring it in that way. So they got meat. And then it was like, there was like marble or there was like tile up the wall. And then like it beveled in. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all that needs to be flushed out. And I think they were just putting a header across like an I-beam, so that's going to be hollow, which I don't know if that was such a big deal. Maybe I had high. I don't remember if I don't think I had high lift. It was just standard lift. And so I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that all needs to be framed out. And then, so I think I was in like the 12 to 16 or $1,800 is what I kind of figured is what I would charge. I think that was for labor. Ish, because I think the guy he had the door. Maybe I was more like 6 or 8, 6, 8, 12, something like that. And I thought he threw in like 12 or something like that. I can't remember. And he's like, yeah, he hasn't gotten back. And I said, he might be busy. I said, but, and then he was going to have a helper. So, and I said, well, you got to figure out what do you need to make hourly? I'm like, are you a 20? Are you a 50? Are you a 60 or 120 an hour? And then I said, or you can tell them it's just going to be time and material or just do a not to exceed. I know Cap's been working on a job that's a big, fence, and he's been consulting with me a little bit on it. And I told him, I said, hey man, I said, I'm always about giving money back if the job goes great. I said, but we had the one, if you guys probably remember the one for out in the freezing cold, the sliding gate, that one went south. That went south. The insurance did not want to cough up more, and it finally got to the point, it's like, well, might as well have to pay something than nothing. And every other service call's been inched up a little bit. There's been a little padding to recoup that, but hey, I'm more willing, man. If the job goes sweet, it doesn't take 3 weeks, it takes 2 weeks, we'll cut it. You know what I mean? But it seems like, especially when you're dealing with people in these bigger corporates too, it's a capital expenditure or something. So, they get that money allotted, you know what I mean? But it's for when you go back and say, hey, this is the scope of work is, we need another $5,000. It's like, oh, I can't do that. You talk about my hammer? Yeah, we're talking about your hammer. Mud, snow, anything else? Eats? Oh, yeah. We're great as Batman. I hammer made millions. Love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, man, they're done nicest. We got hammer drills, anchors. Oh, my gosh. Don't hate doing block, brick, poured walls. Oh, it's fun. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know how it is. Till you start drilling that stuff, stuff's crumbling down. You don't know what kind of shape it's in. It's old. Start running into some big super duper rebar or metal plate stock that's in it or something. You're just like, what in the heck is this? Play Batman again? I don't know. They didn't pay me enough last time. You don't like giving money back? Oh man, I like up here and we'll chop some money back. You want to get good reputation? I learned that from my contractor buddy. He's like, dude, he's like, people will refer you, and he's like, but you got to honor it. He's like, but if you can give like $100-200 back on a job, he's like, I always remember how he told me. He goes, nobody does that. He goes, nobody. He says, all contractors always come and they're always going, oh, well, this job, we didn't know this was going to happen, so this is going to be another $500, $5,000, $10,000. But he's like, I do it up here, and he does all high end. He's very good at he does all like the crown molding, and he does like the like just super really nice kitchens. You know what I mean? Like your nicest kitchen you can think of, that's what he does. I mean, all the molding and trim and underneath, and does a really great job. But he bids them super high, and if he's he's got money, he'll turn it back. And I've done it a few times. You got to honor it. That's kind of hard, because when you're in business, everybody's programmed, right? They're like, doing their paperwork and everything. Are you done with the job? Okay, can I send it? And you're like, whoa, hey, no, like we're good. You can knock off a couple $100, I mean, especially when it's jobs you're doing, you're making thousands of dollars. I mean, it's fine, you know what I mean? And you did really good, and things went better than expected. So, the customer likes it, makes them feel good, maybe makes them look good for their boss. I don't know. I mean, homeowners obviously really love that stuff. I mean, you just look like the King Tuck. You do that, because nobody does it. Posting for being more efficient. I hope Evan isn't watching this. Don't give money back. Well, you gotta remember, like Rusty, I don't know, right? I don't think you do some of the big fence jobs that like we do and stuff like you just can't always like the scope. Like if you're doing like a door or a couple doors and stuff, yeah, you can figure out like a door. You know what I mean? But like when you're dealing with like stuff under the ground, and you're dealing with pipelines and high voltage and just like, and then like when we dealt with like the road commission, I remember I told them, I said, I just learned over the years. I've told them, I said, I'm not pulling those posts. I said, you big boys over there, I said, you got that big ass loader. I said, you pull the post. I said, I'm not bringing my equipment up. I said, pull post. And I remember I got up there the one time, I'm looking at the job, and I kid you not, it's the size of this. Like I can't even, I couldn't touch with my hands side to side how big this concrete ball was on a pole that was like a 3-inch pole. And I remember it sitting there, and like I got up there, and the supervisor, whoever was coming out, and I'm just looking at that pole, and I think I was in shock, like a car accident. I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what in the fudge? Oh. And the guy comes up and he goes, you know why there's so much cement on that pole? And I'm like waiting for the ingenious answer, right? Like, because that's how we did it back then, or something, that pole never moved, And he goes, because that is as big as what they had. He goes, that was the smallest auger they had. And I'm like, and he goes, well, think about it. He goes, like, when we're putting in certain things for fence or for bridges, and he says, or we do poles or whatever, he's like, we got like whatever it is. It's a 4-foot, 6-foot auger. He goes, that's what the guys use. He goes, they don't care. He goes, it's government money. He goes, they don't care. They just call a cement truck. Yeah, we need a full load. Bring it, pour it in. Now, when I worked at the DPW, I remember this one guy, he did the same thing. We had some swing gates for a leaf site, right? And we're there working, or I was there because I had to work the night shift or whatever. I don't remember. But anyways, I'm there and I'm talking to him, and he was always kind of that, real cocky, And he's like, how many yards of cement's in those poles? I mean, it's just whatever. It's 6x6 posts, something nice. He built them, whatever. They were really nice gates. Never moved. And I'm like, I wasn't even really doing I wasn't even doing gates and that really that much then. So I'm just like, yard? Like, he's like, there's 3 yards per side. I'm like, and then now I look at it and go, 3 yards of concrete per side for 6x6. I mean, these things aren't big. They're only spanning maybe an 18, 20 foot wide, opening. So, I mean, there's, I'm just like, I look at it now and I go, hubba, hubba. I go, don't ever call me. I'm not yanking those things out. You need to call, the big boys downtown with the big loader. Like, no, thank you. So, like I was explaining to Kat, I said, well, you don't know what's in the ground. I said, and I said, plus I said, where you're running, it's a lot of, it could be a lot of personal lines because it's an older building. It's like when I worked down at the Coast Guard. Like we pulled a pole out one time, remember? And like, I remember luckily I think it was a sprinkler line, but I remember there was like other lines down there. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, there's just like stuff in there that's just this, but just like the little wires that come out like a phone line. I'm like, and like the one guy comes out, oh, he's like, that's the old tower. You're good. That's nothing. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, do we need to call somebody? Like, this wasn't flagged. And he's like, and obviously it won't be flagged because it's all personal stuff. And I'm just like, so I mean, there's so many variables that go into those jobs. And that's why, like, when like our big electric company, they call them contingencies. So what they'll actually do is they'll put it in as, they'll put it so the price looks good, right? So you see the price, but then they have off to the side a contingency, which will be $5 or $10 or $50,000 that if we run into unexpected, unforeseen circumstances, we might jump into this. So realistically, you should take that and put it down here. That's what the job could be. I just personally like to put it as not to exceed, you know what I mean? Because then that way, if they want to come back and go, well, the other guy, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But, I look at it like for cap and stuff like that. Hey, man, I know what my time's worth. You know what I mean? If you want to play, you want to play. If you don't, I'm good. We're good. But we had a not to exceed. But we were going to do a really good quality job. Now, you can get some other guy and they're like, I remember we had a soccer field? The guys, they weren't even mixing. They were just dry sacking. And you go back to the polls and they're all, and it's like, well, yeah, like I could have knocked off $5,000 if I would just walked around bags of concrete and dumped them in a hole and not water them and mix them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, could have done that too. What's got Coast Guard and polls? Give it to yourself. Where are we at? It's off. Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, you're like I said, it's one of those things. When you're doing really big jobs, it's just hard to foresee all the stuff that's going to be unforeseen, especially when you're dealing with in the ground. You know what I mean? Like garage doors, that's not so bad. Like, I mean, I remember one guy wanted us to run like wire way across the building and like for every garage door. And I told him, I was like, man, this is going to be time and material. Like I can't, if I bid this, I said, it's just going to be astronomically high. And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, no, I get it, man. He says, like, I'd rather you have it. He's like, that's fair for everybody. And I was just like, yeah, then we don't have to bust our ass either. You know what I mean? Like we can just like work like a normal job and, not have to kill ourselves. So every job is always kind of different, but I always like to not to exceed. Like I said, I'd rather bid them high instead of like that one, that Cap did. And that was too low. It was too low. And then of course, insurance didn't want to pay. Where I would have been fine. Would have been if we would have doubled, and then we would have just been like, hey, we're gonna knock 5 off. Things went okay. We really didn't need to cut into this, but the weather changed, the equipment changed. There's a lot of stuff that can change. I run for coming on Streamlay. What'd you got, Coast Guard and polls? We got. He says, sorry, I couldn't help myself. I hate hand mixing concrete. Oh God, that's. Mixing concrete by hand is horrible. It is ungodly, and then every time you think you're going to have a cement truck, you can't sometimes have a cement truck because of just the scheduling or whatever, just me. Super busy right now. Local election said the amount of work now is much to keep up. Dave, I'm truly sorry. You're good, man. Smith, you're good. No, that's good, Rusty. Like I said, it's good to be busy. You know what I mean? And so, and you know how it goes. When you're busy, maybe when you're if you're getting still busier, your prices got to go up. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. And then if you're not busy, maybe prices to soak in more. You know what I mean? And like I said, for right now, you know, with affordable, I mean, we're set for the rest of the year. I mean, there's stuff on the schedule. There's stuff that's gonna already, I can already tell with how the schedule's going. It's gonna bleed, you know, into the hunting season. You know, and so then things have been, is it game changer, like life changing? No, no, it's still not a super, you know, but is there plenty of work? Oh yeah. Yep. It's good, but it's just not like super crazy, you know what I mean? But like with these kind of jobs, a job like this that'll take a month, you know, and depending how many guys you throw at it, you know, it's got to be a hefty number, you know what I mean? It's got to be worth the while, that's for sure, because there is other guys out there that'll do, you know, they can go dry sack it, and have fun, you know what I mean? And then they can deal with all the callbacks when the guy's complaining about the plow truck and how the poles are all leaning, you know, when we hit wintertime, go for it. They got to work double to refix their work, go for it. They got to take fabric back down, go for it, you know what I mean? It's like one we went to, we thought we could pound, couldn't pound. We had to bring the skidster out. We had to bring an auger. The guy's over there, it's just a pile of dirt. Yeah, it's a pile of gravel. It wasn't a pile of dirt. I mean, everything we threw at it for a hammer, we didn't got the big one, the big air hammer with big air compressor. That thing wouldn't even touch it. It was just go down about 3-4 inches. This is not working. There's just so many variables. There's so many variables. I don't even know how sometimes you guys keep your heads on. I think Tanner. Is Tanner, are you still on here? Is it Jaron? No, you're good. It is. It's not fun. It's not fun. No, I was just thinking about with you know, like with Tanner, and you know, I was thinking like how, you know, it's definitely a lot better when you got a team, you know, but when you're starting out, holy moly, that's why I feel for a lot of the new guys. A lot of the new guys. 2-3 weeks out, change spring rollers, hinges. It's weird because Rusty, you say 1,200, and I'm sitting here thinking about that customer that got charged 1,800, and I'm like, whoa, like that is way, you know what I mean? But no, like I said, you know, as long as you're making money, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? It all depends on, you know, like I said, and then you got Travis on here. You know, he's got a contractor that ghosted him. You know what I mean? And he's working a little slow right now. And I think, unfortunately, his unemployment's running out. So he's in a lot different situation where, you know, $20 is $20. You know what I mean? Where, you know, he don't, you know. So I get it. I've been there. Like I said, I know. It's tough. 11 o'clock. All right, guys, we better get out of here. Happy Sunday. Happy church day. Be good. Keep your fingers. I got to clean up a mess. To remember I put in my time and through tough times. Oh, yeah. And, hey, I don't know, Rusty. Like I said, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're still going to go through a dip, a depression, recession. You know, what's going to happen with the, you know, maybe September we're going to see the old stock market or the Federal Reserve. I mean, maybe they'll drop the interest rates a little bit and that'll give it a pump up. You know what I mean? It's all whatever. You know, we'll see. It's all funny money anyways. It's just all printed from thin air. We just believe in it, right? It's not even backed by real gold anymore. That's why you just got to find a way to make that baby money. Who's the president? What did they say today, though? I seen something that they're like saying that, I thought I seen something that 30%, basically how they were saying I forget how they worded it. I don't know if I can't remember what the video, but it was talking about like 30% is like supported by the government. And I was just like, and that's why I think they always say is, I don't know if it's a Bible term or what it is, but my wife's always told me once, right? Like, you'll have to work, what is it? You'll have to work a full day for one loaf of bread type of thing, because bread will cost whatever, like $100 or $500. And it's funny because it's kind of why, like, if they end up doing this $600, I go, why? Why? Why do they do this $600? The economy's doing so good. Why? And that's why I always kind of say, I think like for like our area, we are the bellwether. Things are not good. You know what I mean? Like we are the first ones. Other areas, it's just like when you watch the real estate people, right? There's the areas that are just, they're booming, right? And it's not that there isn't stuff happening here. It's just I can tell that things are not lucrative like they've been. Not like the COVID stage or the 2006 era. You know what I mean? Where you just could walk in anywhere and bam. You know what I mean? It's not that you can't if you go out and hustle and you dig it up. It's there. It's there. It's just you got to work hard for it. It's just not like the sneeze in the wind type of stuff. So, but it's just like anything. You know, when's it a good time to plant a tree? 2 years ago. So, you know, you just got to keep planting trees. You know, that's what you got to keep doing. Everybody's got to do, you know. 5 minutes? All right. Thank goodness, man, because I really got to go. All right. We'll see you guys. Have a good night. Take care. Keep your fingers. Thanks for being here. We'll see you later. And bye-bye.